Tonight, the Turlock Cal Express rolls into Mesquite Arena, making their first stop in Texas, looking for a fourth straight victory. They come in with a 7-11 record. They're 2-5 on the road, and they're facing the Mesquite Outlaws, who are trying to end a two-game skid. Mesquite 6-14 with a 4-7 record here at home. I'm Pete Stein along with Matt Thornton. Mesquite knows that they're eliminated from playoff contention. Turlock is hanging on by a thin thread, and they'll be facing a veteran goalkeeper tonight. Sagu makes his return because of injury. Pollo not available tonight in goal. We saw him shaken up a week ago in the game against Monterey, played through the second half of the injury. And tonight the Outlaws turn to Sagu, who spent 8 seasons in Baltimore. He was a 3-time goalkeeper of the year, a 3-time champion, also a champion in his 7 seasons with the Dallas Sidekicks, appearing with his 3rd team and facing a team that is averaging just 5.4 goals per game.
Yeah, and a nice moment there pregame for the recently departed from Earth, Hank Barnard, who's a fan of the Turlock Express, a big contributor to the Facebook page, MASL, Off the Wall and In the Box and all that. And really nice moment that I thought the Outlaws franchise gave for Hank. So thoughts and prayers with his family. And, man, how about Sagu, the 46-year-old, dusting off the gloves. I talked to him pregame. We got a lot more to come on that, but really excited to see him down there tonight.
He's excited to be playing. I talked to him earlier. He gets a chance to play tonight. This is a Mesquite team, I think, disappointed with the way the season is coming to a close, but a chance to win their home finale here on Fan Appreciation Night.
Yeah, and they're a little bit upset, but honestly, they had a great season. They really did. I mean, they're brand new franchise, and as many veterans as they have, there's a whole bunch of rookies. And man, this Turlock Express team in Mesquite are extremely evenly matched. You look across the board, 4.9 goals for Mesquite, Turlock 5.4, -18 goal differential, Mesquite, Turlock -13, 16% on the power play, both teams pretty good on the kill, 58% for Mesquite, 68% for Turlock. And you look at it, you're like, I'm not sure who could win this game. They both are extremely evenly matched.
Turlock with the better form right now, coming off a 6-4 win over Dallas, a 9-8 victory last outing, 14-7. Mesquite after being upset by the Sidekicks in Allen in the final of their 4 meetings with their crosstown rivals.
Yeah, tough loss for Mesquite there, but boy, Dallas really needed that. I think Dallas basically made that their Super Bowl for the season, so to speak.
It ended a 10-game losing streak for the Sidekicks.
It did, and all the players were all full throttle.
In Allen, so we'll see how much energy they have to expend here against the Outlaws as we're just underway now at the Mesquite Arena. The ball is sent back to Christian Valadez as the Cal Express wears gray trimmed in black. Nearly turned over, but Valadez is able to send it up the right wing to Gutierrez, who is their leading scorer. He gets to the attacking line, whiffs on a shot, and Vicmore Aligwe comes away with it for the Outlaws.
Wow, he just gave an oop-de-doo to Captain Adrian Gutierrez there. Wow, what a move.
Aligwe gets it back to Sagu. First time Sagu has touched the ball in competition since 2015, and that goes off the chest of Valadez. What do you think we'll see from Sagu tonight?
Well, Sagu's my man to watch, Pete. With the Outlaws goalkeeper Pollo Cortez injured, and, of course, backup goalkeeper Esteban Vasquez returning from Europe for action with the U.S. futsal team. How could you not have the man to watch be the legend, Edelson Xavier? This is his first professional game since his retirement in 2015. The Sidekicks and Sagu won 7 of 8 games in goal that season. He played arena soccer games for both Sidekicks and Baltimore Blast, and a career 176 wins, 114 losses. It's going to be fun to watch him in goal. I mean, I'm excited. I talked to him again in pregame, and he had a biggest smile. He said he brought his son as backup.
And has Carvalho, who's getting the start on the other end. This is his third straight start. He's 2-2 with a 7.56 goals against average and is only stopping 56% of the shots he faces.
Yeah, I mean, goalkeeper Edgar Martinez had a
off the inboards into the area, and there's a goal! The Outlaws have taken the lead. Rio puts it in the back of the net with 13-13 to play in the first quarter.
really nice pass from Omar Tapia here off the wall. Rio running, streaking down the middle, left-footed, back of the net. Beautiful job by the rookie defender there, and a nice distribution from Omar Tapia.
Tapia gets the assist.
That is Tapia's 5th assist on the season, and Rio Ramirez's 4th goal.
Just what the Outlaws needed was to get out to a lead.
Yeah, something we haven't seen them do a lot of this season. You know, when they get those early leads, this vaunted Outlaws defense can sit back, play their style, and just crush other opposing teams with their defensive play.
Mesquite won the last meeting 5-3 in California. Anthony Powell scored twice in that game. They were tied 3 times in that contest. It was Turlock who scored the first goal of the game. Long distribution goes right into the hands of Sagu. Sagu hits the superstructure.
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Sagu was looking for Vic Moraligwe, who was open down the middle.
Right. Yeah, and he told me that he practices with the team constantly. So
to the right wing side for a left-footed shot that is wide of the mark for Valadez, and the Outlaws get it cleared. There's a big difference between practice, though, and a game.
Indeed.
And Sagu goes to the ground to make a save. And Ellis is there to get the rebound, controls deep in his own corner, unable to get it cleared out yet. Gutierrez along the left wing boards, controls it now facing goal. Lays this back to Echeverria. Echeverria spinning. And now will lay the ball off and go to the bench as a substitution is made, and it's sent back to Carvalho, the keeper. To Valadez, pressured by Lovegrove. Carvalho distributes it left. Turlock seems a little panicked here in their own end, with Lovegrove applying high pressure.
You've got to wonder how much the field size is going to play into the Turlock Express. Their field is probably one of the smallest in all the MASL. And this isn't a huge field necessarily, but it's certainly not as small as the Turlock Cal Expresses.
Yeah, this one is narrow.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, they're going to be playing on a much bigger field tomorrow in Allen.
Powell is the target for Sagu, put it right on him. Powell trying to get around Rojo. Cleared out by Carvalho. And Carvalho goes down inside the area, and that draws the whistle.
Yeah, Brendan Lee there made contact, and that's going to get called every time.
Goalkeeper distribution for the Cal Express. Carvalho pushes it across his own line. Plays it diagonally. It goes past Rios and inside the Mesquite line. A battle for possession. Brambilla is there for Turlock and turns it over to Sean David. David gets bumped from behind but gets across halfway, then poked away by Gutierrez. David runs up to it and makes contact with Bonilla and gets whistled for the foul.
Yeah, he just kind of ran up on him from behind. That's an easy call for the referee.
Brambilla's got 5 goals and 7 points during Turlock's 3-game winning streak. Referee. Austin Saini is the referee. Kyle Bourne, the assistant referee. And Brent Brownell is the 4th official.
It's a 4-second violation. Turlock didn't get it off quick enough, so it turned it over to the Outlaws deep in their own territory.
The count's on Cardenas now, and he gets play restarted to Rio. To Oteze. Back to Cardenas. Sagu pushes it across his own line and again hits the superstructure. So he's having some trouble, and that's to be expected.
He shaking his head. Sorry, Pete.
This will be a restart at the top of the penalty arc.
Yeah, it's right at the yellow line there.
At the attack line is where they put it down.
Sagu's shaking his head. He's frustrated because he practices on this field, so he knows he knows the superstructure.
The superstructure is still relatively new here.
Yep.
Campos slices it through the area. Nunez is there for the Outlaws, but can't control it. Off the end glass, skipping, and then with the right foot just missing wide is Rhea.
Nice opportunity there from Rhea. Beautiful one-timer. Just couldn't quite angle it in enough, but very, very close.
A battle in the corner, and the big target man, Ivan Campos, is there battling, and along the inboards, it's covered up by Sagu.
Did you say Ivan Campos or Ivan Rodriguez? Because the former pitcher or former catcher for the Texas Rangers is who Campos looks like. I feel like he could be a nice backstop there.
You're saying he could go by the nickname Pudge?
No, I didn't say Pudge. I'm just saying he's a little bit rotund.
Here's Aligwe pushing it inside the Turlock line through the area, but nobody's on the other end of this for the Outlaws. And the Cal Express control deep in their own end. Cheeky little backheel pass to Max, who's not able to clear, and now it's sent out to close to halfway, but chested by Lovegrove and directed toward Jones.
Yeah, and boy, Jamie Lovegrove out there gutting it out. He leads his team in goals, assists, and points. Told me after the last game that he missed, he's got a torn groin muscle. Man, I mean, just being out there and playing is unbelievable. What a warrior.
De Leon beating Rhea to the ball. Gets to the corner, marked now by Jermaine. De Leon pinned up again. Ellis sends it. Now Jones doesn't trap it cleanly and then tries to zip past Rhea and get slowed down.
Good recovery by Mike Jones there. Lost the ball, got back, and got it back.
Just under 8.5 minutes to play here in the opening period. Mesquite with a 1-0 lead on the strength of the Rio goal. Set up by Tapia. Now Aligwe in the corner for Mesquite. He's flattened on the turf, and a free kick coming up for Mesquite from the corner.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they got to call that one to me. I know Aligwe dishes it out, but goodness, he got ran over on that one. This is a great opportunity for Mitchell Cardenas on the right side. He's so good at these.
Fires it to the near post. Caroms out to Lovegrove, who finds Tapia. Leaves it for Cardenas. Tapia headed to the bench. Sean David back into the game. De Leon also goes to the bench.
Boy, Mitchell Cardenas just rocketed that shot. I don't think anybody expected him to shoot there. Just missing it to the right.
Changes on the fly for the Outlaws as David controls. He gets it to Sagu. These guys were teammates back in the early 2000s. Powell along the right wing boards. Able to poke it toward the inboards. Carvalho comes out of the area. He plays it to Rojo, who sends it straight up in the air. That comes down near Orista. Still a battle for possession. There's a foul.
Yeah, it's a foul, easy.
That's an easy one to call against Anibal Echeverria.
And Echeverria, they're talking to him. He needs to be careful. Rio's still down. No intention whatsoever to go for the ball on that hit on Rio. I'm kind of surprised it didn't draw a blue card.
Cardenas will restart play near the center stripe. Lay it back to Sagu with just under 7.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. The Outlaws with a 1-0 lead. Sagu keeps it on the ground and plays it to Powell. Powell trying to get it to Cardenas, didn't have enough on the pass, and it gets taken away by Turlock. Max trying to get it out of his own end. A double team along the boards, and Lee comes away with it for the Outlaws, takes a shot wide left. Powell can't trap it. Side boots it back to Cardenas.
Oh, unfortunate for Powell there, man. It was just a little too high for him, and Powell is down on the ground. He got hit in the head. And but, man, that shot by Brendan Lee, Powell was in perfect position, just the ball a little too high.
Powell shaken up with 6:50 to play in the first, and the Outlaws leading 1-0.
The Mesquite Outlaws would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huddersfield, England, is amongst the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Mitre share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Mitre's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Mitre's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. Thank you, Mitre.
MASL Primetime is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday. Alex Pashuvansky hosts the 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch every episode. Powell appears to be okay.
Yeah, he got hit in the head there. Went down immediately. Unfortunately, refs did not see it. I got to kind of keep the eye on Turlock's side, Pete. For Turlock, the guy to watch is midfielder Adrian Gutierrez, who leads his team with 14 goals, 14 assists, and 28 points. He's the with a goal or need to stop Gutierrez to get the win tonight, and he's impressive. He does it both sides. We talk about that all the time. The guys that are really, really special in this league can score or dish the ball and distribute. He's certainly one of those guys, 14 and 14.
Gutierrez has a 7-game point streak. He's from Livingston, California, so he's a local guy, and he's been with Turlock since their inaugural season. First period resumes, 6:45 to play. Outlaws lead 1-0. Each team with 2 shots here in the first quarter. Outlaws looking for another as Tapia takes it into the corner. He's got Nunez on the other side of the pitch. Instead lays it back to Ellis. Rio to Nunez, back to Rio. To the attacking line and back to Ellis. Switch to David. David trying to run away from Valadez. Nunez has it. Nunez marked by Gutierrez. Leaves it for Tapia. Nunez back to Ellis.
With Sagu dusting off the gloves, I've asked Tattoo if he was going to make an appearance tonight, Pete. He said he plays in the over 50 league and he's too slow.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see Nick Stavro back out there either.
No, he kind of nodded his head as well.
Oteze to Tapia, trying to get it back to Oteze, but it goes through the area and into the corner. Jermaine trying to win the ball along the boards, pushed Oteze to the ground, and that drew the whistle.
That's a good call there. Yeah, I mean, with Sagu 46, I was lobbying myself. Can I get some time on the field as a defender?
I don't think they're that desperate. Cardenas finding Tapia with a one-timer, and Carvalho makes the save.
What a fantastic save by Carvalho, sliding over.
Varela makes a run up the left side, and then tries to make the connection with Arista. And this will be sent all the way back to halfway. Bonilla lets it go all the way back to Carvalho.
Yeah, Carvalho, he made that save look easy because he was on the opposite side. He slid over, chipping down on a point-blank shot. Really nice save for him.
Bonilla, pressured by Aligwe, sends it over the top, looking for the target man, Echeverria, at the top of the penalty arc, but the Outlaws are able to get it cleared, and then Oteze is interfered with. We'll see how they call it.
And Jamie Gamboa just launched over the wall, jumping back in now into play, but man, and he stayed down for a little bit too. Just talked about him nursing a groin, and he said he had a back injury as well. Man, don't want to see that from the captain.
Outlaws with a 1-0 lead. Aligwe not able to control it. Cardenas retrieves it for the Outlaws. He's battling there with Echeverria. Now Aligwe and Gutierrez duel. Back in. And the Outlaws lead 1-0. The goal came at 1:47 of the first. Keeping that ball away from Aligwe is
Aligwe doing the illegal with 36 fouls, is fourth in the Major Arena Soccer League coming into this game.
that ball is swept back by Rios to the keeper Carvalho. Carvalho all alone on the right side. Able to get it to Rios. Turn is the target man downfield. Marked by Valadez. Aligwe moves in. Aligwe fires wide, but the rebound is deposited in the back of the net. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Mesquite Outlaws. Vic Moore Aligwe creates the opportunity. And scoring the goal for the Mesquite Outlaws is Brendan Lee.
Beautiful job by Vic Moore Aligwe there off the wall. And he made a couple of really nice moves even prior to the replay. And Brendan Lee, right spot, right time. That is Brendan Lee's third goal of the season. Vic Moore Aligwe's now sixth assist of the season. Beautiful, beautiful play.
Aligwe had not had an assist in his last 9 games, but he gets the assist here to make it 2-0. Good start for the Outlaws.
Yeah,
They've got a little pep in their step tonight, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's fan appreciation night. They've got Sagu in goal. I saw Jamie Lovegrove applauding Sagu as he walked out. Everybody has a little pep.
Sagu's happy to have a little bit of a cushion here, trying to pass it off the glass, but it caroms out of play.
And that hit the glass, so it's not going to be top of arc.
Bonilla in the midfield, marked by Tapia.
It's funny, I think Sagu, one of the things he's struggling is distribution right now, which we've kind of given Pollo Cortez a hard time about throughout the season, Pete. Maybe like a mentor, like Mentee.
Cortez has given Tattoo a hard time with some of his distribution. But he's been a brilliant goalkeeper this year for the Outlaws, and Sagu for the third time hits the superstructure.
What's fortunate is that the superstructure is a line kick, not top of the arc, because boy, it'd be a nightmare for the Outlaws if it was the other way around.
Here's Gutierrez with the approach. Plays it over to the right wing for a one-timer, and Cardenas is able to block it.
Nice block from Cardenas, his 33rd of the season.
That Cardenas blocked. Cardenas has 3 blocks in 6 games this year. He's had at least 1 block in all but 3 games for the Outlaws.
Yeah, the Outlaws are just dominant in blocks. 3 players with 26 or more, tops in the MASL by far.
Jermaine to the corner. There he finds Brambilla. Nearly turned. Save! Diving down to his right. He stops it.
Fantastic save. He's got the stickum on his glove on that right hand. Flashed it out. Pinned the ball. Beautiful job from the 46-year-old in goal. Looking like he's 26, Pete.
Varela commits the foul. The Outlaws restart play, leading by 2 with 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Jones keeps it low. Pass De Leon. He'll field it off the end boards. In the corner, tightly marked. De Leon trying to get something into the area. Still wrestling for possession, battling with Valadez. And finally called for a foul.
Yeah, they're going to call George for the tripping. But a good job, good work on the wall. Something we don't see a lot from him sometimes is that wall work. He's one of those rookies that's making that transition to indoor, but a nice play.
Jones with the interception finds Lee open on the left side. Lee to the corner for Tapia. Feeds it to the right side, and her shot goes just wide. A second shot is blocked. He's been very efficient this year.
Man, he has indeed. And that's a nice couple of shots. He's got 13 goals. He's tied for second on the team.
Tapia's got an open goal to shoot into, and he scores!
Nice play from Omar Tapia, lifting it up. That's his 6th goal this season, and I'm as good as Carvalho's been in goal. I'm not sure why he didn't retreat back and get that ball backwards. Boy, when you got 2 defenders there, you got to run back in goal, and a bit of a mistake from the Turlock Cal Express goalkeeper there.
Mesquite happy to take advantage of the error with 1:08 to lead the Turlock Cal Express 3-0.
That's 10 points now for Omar Tapia, the former Rio Grande Valley Barracuda.
Early in the game, the Outlaws off to a great start, a lot different than what we saw against Monterey.
Yeah. Oh, and here we go. Here's a little mix-up. That's one thing, Aligwe, he can take it for a little bit. He's not going to take. He's a big man. He's powerful. He is all muscle. Not very tall in stature, but certainly a guy that's not afraid to dish it up. And you can see there in the replay at the top of the screen, Turlock player just looks like he just reaches out and just kind of pushes Aligwe. Not happy about that. You got to be careful, though. We saw this last week, Pete. The retaliation is typically what gets you. Mike turned around, gave him an elbow, and that was what was called. Referees did not see the first foul.
Cardenas gets it cleared. Aligwe controls and then turns it over. Unable to get it to Gutierrez as Cardenas takes it away for the Outlaws. Over the left shoulder of Aligwe. He pushes it forward and then tries to skip it into goal, but Carvalho parries it away to the corner. Nunez is there for Mesquite. Rims it into the area, but then it gets scooped up by Carvalho.
Very nice diving save by Carvalho there, because Vicmore Aligwe is coming with a head of steam and a beautiful little leaping save using that left hand, punching it out. Great job.
Rios giving chase, but the ball skips over the wall out of play with 6 seconds to play in the first quarter. A great start tonight for the Outlaws, who have taken a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and I think the Outlaws, man, they've one thing they've kind of struggled with this season is scoring goals, but boy, not tonight. They're really putting them up on the boards.
And they're out shooting Turlock through the first 15 minutes of play, 8-4. Rio Ramirez opened the scoring, assisted by Tapia, who played it off the end boards to Ramirez, who scored at 1:47 of the first, and it stayed 1-0 until the 11:06 mark. Lead to make it 2-0, and then Tapia scored unassisted into an open net at 13:53, and it's the Outlaws taking advantage of Cal Express error.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job on offense. They're really, putting the pressure on. Their defense has actually done a really beautiful job, too, not allowing through balls, blocking shots left and right. You got to like the opportunity here for the Outlaws to get the W thus far.
This is a Turlock team that opened the season with 5 one-goal games. They went 3-2. Ontario 9-8. That ended the Fury's 6-game winning streak. Following their 2-2 start through their first 4 games, the Cal Express went on a 6-game losing streak that included that 5-3 loss to Mesquite after defeating 3 games, but they've turned things around with 3 straight wins entering this weekend, defeating Dallas 6-4, that upset over Ontario, and then routed
Turlock trying desperately to get into that 4th spot. Just made harder last night with Sonora upsetting the Flash. What a game that was. I don't know if you caught that, Pete, but man, the 11-7. That was a fun game to watch.
And they've got 2 more meetings coming up here, and we'll talk more about that during our Around the League segment coming up at halftime as we get ready for the second quarter here at the Mesquite Arena. The Outlaws with a 3-0 lead through the first quarter. We've had 3 blocks. The Outlaws with 2 of those blocks No penalties through the first period. 11 fouls, 6 called against the Express and 5 called against the Outlaws.
Yeah. Fouls, but no penalties yet. These teams are, they're not terribly bad in penalty minutes. Mesquite averages 6.8 and Turlock 5.0. But I can't help but wonder if the bigger field, because I saw a few opportunities where Turlock players were expecting runs where the player was a little bit closer to them perhaps in Turlock, but they're so far away here they weren't making the run. They weren't getting to the ball on the run, so I just can't help but wonder out loud if that's impacting Turlock at all.
Sagu keeps this one away from the superstructure but doesn't find a target. Carvalho controls it.
Man, it's
already cost him once.
Yeah.
Here's Jermaine with time and space up the right side. Jermaine gets it to Rhea. Rhea back to Max. A shot. Oteze with the block. This one across the face of goal and then headed in. Brambilla hanging out on the back post scores the goal.
That was a really nice header by Brambilla. It just kind of hung in the air for about 30 seconds, it seemed. You can see this ball bumping off right off the wall high, and Brambilla there with Cody Ellis right in front of him, just able to get up and get the head on it back of the net. Beautiful, beautiful play.
For Brambilla, that's his 6th goal and 8th point in the last 4 games. He's just 20 years old.
Nice play. And that's not easy to do, to get up over Cody Ellis. Cody Ellis is not a short man.
That's the first goal that Sagu's given up in 5 years.
There.
I mean, he hasn't played.
It sounds so much better when you say it like that, Pete. Yeah, that moves Brambilla into, he was goals. That's his 14th goal now.
Edgar Martinez happy to see Turlock get off to a better start here in the second quarter. They're still down by 2. Tattoo side leading 3-1. Arista gets it to Valadez, and then Arista comes up the left wing side. Jones takes it away, trying to get out of his own end. Switches it to Oteze. Oteze loses it. Gutierrez inside the attacking line takes a shot that's blocked by Jones and deflected to the corner. Comes to the feet of Campos. And sent back to Rojo. Lovegrove marks Rojo. Rojo stops just shy of the Mesquite line. Now moves in. Sets it up for a one-timer off the right foot of Bonilla. That one is sent well behind the goal.
Man, with Gutierrez and Campos out there for Turlock, I thought for a second I was watching football. It looked like the offensive line was on the field. Man, they got some beef on this team. I think their mascot is a bull, right?
Well, if they've got beef on the team, they're in the right place. The Mesquite. It's been a good home for the Outlaws here in their inaugural campaign. Jones with a steal here, gets it to George De Leon. He switches it to the left side, finding Lee, who scored one of the 3 goals in the first quarter, but loses possession here as Echeverria comes away with it. Jermaine will send it back to Carvalho.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Brendan Lee, because, man, he had a streaking De Leon to his right. If he could have got that.
Jermaine marked by Lee. Carvalho plays that ahead into space, and Varela runs up on it, takes a shot wide right, shooting from the yellow line. And I think we got a handball call, and it'll be a free kick for the Outlaws coming out of their own end. Cardenas restarts play, getting it to Sean David, to Jones, who loses it, tumbles down, and there's the
Yeah, gets tripped, and number 97, Raya, nice play there, put it in the back of the net. You could argue a foul because, frankly, I mean, Rhea got all of Jones's foot, but I think the referees let him play on because it was more of an incidental contact thing. But you know, you don't see mistakes like that from Jones very often. He'll battle back. That's going to get him fired up. I guarantee you that. He's going to be angry about that. And he's going to want to get a goal or an assist or something. Keep an eye on him.
Brambilla and Rhea have scored here in the first 2:48 of the second quarter. And just like that, Turlock has tightened things up at the Mesquite Arena. They now trail 3-2 after Ramirez, Lee, and Tapia scored for the Outlaws in the first quarter. Turlock with all 3 shots here in the second quarter, and 2 of those have ended up in the back of the net. We've played 3 minutes of the second period as Rojo controls between the benches, sends it back to Carvalho.
Yeah, the goals have been a little undisciplined, something we don't see often from Outlaws on the defensive side of the ball.
Arista on the left side, into the corner, marked by Ellis, played a wall pass that Rio nearly intercepted, creates a loose ball that Ellis clears, over to David, back to Rio. Rio being chased by Varela, leaves it for Nunez, who switches it to Ellis. With 11 and a half minutes to play in the period, Ellis finds turned over at halfway. Here comes Rojo. He tees it up, shanks it wide left.
Great job by Rio diving and getting a piece of that ball. Beautiful defensive play by the rookie.
Rojo moving along the wall, sends it through the area. A one-timer, and then Max is on the doorstep to score. Getting the assist is Julio Varela.
And Matt Max was wide open on the back post. Look at that. Nobody even near him. That is just, we just haven't seen that kind of defensive breakdown from the Outlaws all season long. Rio Ramirez late getting back. Just doesn't happen that way they typically play.
Wow, a 3-goal lead disappears quickly here in the second quarter as Brambilla, Rhea, and now Max have all scored in the first 4 minutes. It's a 3-goal run for Turlock, answering the Outlaws' 3-goal run in the first quarter.
I looked at his name, Matt Max. I thought it was Mad Max, and I was like, what an awesome name. I want a name like Mad Max. But it's Mad. So, but, you know, I'm very surprised the Outlaws there. Again, kind of defensive mistakes. Not too pretty. Kind of surprised here. And, you know, keep him clean back there on the sheet.
Both teams huddled around their coaches. Chibo Martinez, the head coach for the Cal Express, and of course, Tattoo coaches the Outlaws. The momentum has swung here in the second quarter. Turlock has come back to tie it. Combined for 8 goals in their first meeting, a game Mesquite won 5-3.
And both the Turlock and Mesquite have only dressed 15 players tonight, so I thought that was kind of interesting because you got a guy like Bradley Valadez who's available to him a rest.
Lovegrove restarts play after the timeout. 10:55 to play. Sagu sends it up the right side. De Leon not able to win it. Here comes Gutierrez. Gutierrez on the run, up the middle. Passes to the right wing. For Gutierrez in the area. Shoots wide. Gutierrez will get another crack at it. Cardenas with a block. Alegwe gives chase, but he gets beat to the ball by Rhea. Rhea to Valadez.
Yeah, the other thing, the Outlaws aren't really they're not winning the 50-50 balls either, which is surprising. That's typically something they'll do. They'll win that 50-50 ball, retain possession. They haven't been doing that much tonight.
Rojo to Valadez with 10:15 to play in the half. Arista gets it back to Valadez. Rojo looking. Let the ball get too far away from him. Sent back to Jones. Jones runs past Campos up the left channel and then gets taken off of his feet by Valadez, and the foul is called.
Yeah, he wanted a card there too. Didn't get it, unfortunately. wasn't egregious enough. Certainly a foul, but not a card. And a nice move. I told you, Mike, that mistake on defense is gonna make him mad. He's gonna want to go down and get a goal or an assist or something. Watch.
Cardenas with the restart. Lovegrove behind Cardenas. And it'll be Lovegrove off the inboards to Cardenas, and a save made. I'm not sure that got all the way to Carvalho. It may have been blocked before it got to him. Sean David giving chase. Sagu makes the save off the left-footed shot from Varela.
Textbook save from Sagu, going down on one knee.
Varela again, this time to Arista. Sagu with another save, but it's right back to Varela, miss wide left. Arista gets another shot. Lovegrove with a block. And a foul will be called on Jones.
That's a foul on 23, Mike Jones. But Sagu, man, showing off the speed, getting up and down a couple times, positioning himself perfectly. He's still got it. It's beautiful to watch.
Echeverria got pushed down by Jones, and the restart comes from the right wing. We're tied at 3 with 9:23 to play in the second. Campos, one touch, and then the shot fired into the wall by Echeverria. It comes to Gutierrez. He slices one wide. Sean David gets to the rebound to Lovegrove, not able to get it cleared out. David gets it cleared, finds Jones. Here's Lovegrove on the run. Jones plays it into the path of Lovegrove, who draws a double team, gets tangled up, no call.
Good tackle by Anthony Powell there.
And he wins the ball, plays it left to Lovegrove. Comes to Cardenas. Cardenas off the end glass to Gutierrez at the top of the arc for Turlock, and then intercepted by Tapia. Turlock not able to get it cleared initially, and now controlled at the line by Echeverria. He gets it to Rojo. Rojo defended by Oteze. Back to Echeverria. Into the center circle is Varela. Up the right side, Rojo makes the run, cut off by Cardenas in the corner. Lee trying to get it cleared. Stumbles, but comes out of his own end, across halfway, up the inside left channel, plays it through the area for a Tapia one-timer that's parried over the crossbar by the keeper, Carvalho.
Fantastic play by Brendan Lee, streaking down the left side, almost fell. Beautiful pass to Omar Tapia for the one-timer and the save.
Tapia back heels to Lovegrove, looking for the far side netting, and that's deflected over the corner glass. It'll be a restart from the left corner for Mesquite, which is deadlocked 3-3 with visiting Turlock.
The Tapia Brendan Lee line has been impressive tonight.
Lee's shot blocked off the restart. Lee chases it down at halfway.
And I don't know.
Gets it all the way back to Sagu, who heads it to Rio.
How did that make it through the superstructure, man? That everybody stopped.
Rio gets it to Tapia. 7:44 to play in the half. Outlaws with possession. Ellis up the left side to Lovegrove. Little give and go. Lovegrove gets inside the attack area. Now Tapia off the inboards to Lovegrove. He fires off the inboards. De Leon's one-timer goes wide. Tapia can't catch it all with the left foot. And going to the ground to cover it up is Carvalho.
Some good work there. 1-2 work on the boards with Jamie Lovegrove. And then he got it across to George De Leon. You just wish George take one little tap to your foot and settle that ball down, and you got a much better shot. But, these nuances there by Jamie Lovegrove, the captain, along the wall.
Who has 5 saves. We're tied 3-3 with 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. This is Sagu for Mesquite. Sending it up the middle for Nunez. Nunez goes to Aligwe, who tees it up, fires. That's wide. He was looking for the upper 90 on the right side. The rebound comes out to Ellis, who gets it back to Jones.
Yeah, anytime Aligwe gets the ball with space front to goal, it's automatic goal, just missing wide and right.
Campos pressures Jones, creates an opportunity. Aligwe has it on his left foot, and the shot is blocked by Jermaine, and it's out of play.
Good defensive work there by Jermaine and Matt Max with the slide, the perfectly timed slide.
Cardenas winds up, and he sails one out of play into the bleachers. 6:20 remaining in the half. We're still tied 3-3. Mesquite striking 3 times in the first, and the Cal Express answering with 3 goals in the second.
Outlaws really have picked up their offense here. Lots of shots in the last few minutes.
6:20 to play. Each team with 14 shots. Turlock out shooting Mesquite here in the second, 10-6. Cal Express with all 3 goals in the second period. Sean David took it away and then tried to get it back to Sack. Goal for the and his assistant Nick.
Defensive play indeed. Sean David, again, a guy who just doesn't typically make mistakes like that. Trying to get it back to Sagu, and a nice job by Martin Marista sticking his foot out, putting it past his goal, the goalkeeper, Sagu. Man, Pete, we just don't see these mistakes from what's typically a very disciplined defensive team with the Outlaws.
They've given up 4 straight goals after taking an early 3-0 lead. And now Carvalho is down. Tapia called for the foul. And Carvalho's acting as though he's got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, and that's I think that's what happened. It was to me it looked very incidental. There was no intent there to harm at all from Omar Tapia. But Carvalho just certainly took it in the gut. You can see him stretching out, just trying to get his breath back.
Brambilla, Rea, Max, and Arista, the goal scorers for Turlock after Ramirez, Lee, and Tapia scored in the first from Mesquite. 6:02 remaining here in the first half, and the Cal Express leading 4-3.
Tapia wanted desperately for Brendan Lee to make the run on his left side because he had the ball, but there was no man to pass to when he got it. That's why he's kind of frustrated.
The MASL podcast returns this season. You can join us as we talk to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and take you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast on Apple Podcasts.
Carvalho up. Good to see him up now.
Rojo back to Carvalho. Tapia marking Rojo. Cardenas pressures Carvalho. He sends it ahead to Valadez. Turned over in the center circle to Lee. Rio, who gets it to Lee. Sent up the left side to Tapia. Back to Lee for David. Changes made on the fly for the Outlaws with 5.5 minutes to play in the half. Sent back to Sagu. Sagu with a low liner. Skips to the feet of Eligwe, not able to trap it, and it's over the boards and out of play.
Yeah, tough moment there for Eligwe, just trying to pop that ball up and run down the side, just popped it out of bounds. You know, it's just, again, things we don't see very often, mistakes from Mesquite. Got him trailing by 1.
Ellis switches it over to Oteze, who gets it back to Sagu. Sagu sends it up the middle looking for Eligwe, but it's taken away by Rojo. Campos to Rojo. Rojo now. With a tied 4-4.
Nice play by Vicmore Eligwe there off the wall, and there's no way Campos is catching the racehorse Vicmore Eligwe. That's just not fair in a foot race, Pete, but Vicmore Eligwe ties it up. Beautiful job there, man. If you don't put that one away, I'm going to have to take away your lethal offensive weapon card, my friend, but he did indeed. Great job by Vicmore Eligwe.
That's the 3rd straight game that Eligwe has scored a goal, and he's got 4 goals now in his last 8 games. He came into tonight with 13 goals and 14 penalty minutes.
Yeah.
Cardenas at the top of the arc in his own end. Jones is able to clear it to halfway. Powell is pushed off the ball. Gets headed toward Campos. Sagu picks it out of the air. And Sagu going with
the guy that you want to mix it up with. Sagu is notorious for not taking lip from anyone, and I'm not sure what Ivan Campos is doing here. I mean, honestly, he's pushing into Sagu, clearly has the ball, and then gets in his face, and Sagu, he's not going to have any of that. I saw him, I think it was two-footed kick another player. I think it was against Monterey many years ago, and one of the most devastating clearances I've ever seen in arena soccer, and maybe that's the juice that'll get Sagu fired up.
Not able to make the connection here with Cardenas. Bonilla takes it away. Jermaine clears it, but only as far as Lovegrove. Left-footed shot is blocked by Arista. Lovegrove again right at the attacking line. And it'll be a free kick for Turlock as Arista got spilled.
Yeah, Lovegrove pulled him down by his jersey there. He was trying not to get caught, but a little too easy for Mills to see.
4:20 to play in the second quarter. Turlock and Mesquite in a 4-4 tie. Each team has gone on runs over the course of this game. Turlock had a 4-goal run. Turlock putting Tapia, the Turlock line, and then not catching all of it. Carvalho has a rather routine save, scooping it up.
Nice play off the wall by Tapia. That was cheeky. Really beautiful job to get around the Turlock defender.
3:45 remaining here in the second quarter. Aligwe ending that 4-goal run for Turlock to tie the game at 4 with an even strength goal at 10:04 the second. Joining Tapia, Lee, and Ramirez as the goal scorers for the Outlaws. Do we have another party to be heard from here? Sean David loses possession. It gets sent out to Echeverria, and then Lovegrove wins it back, and then Lovegrove gets taken down.
Oh, to me, that's a card. I mean, to me, he was very clearly on his way to a goal there, and he got taken down with the ball. And now you've got to have no defenders in front of him. Yeah, he had a couple defenders, so good call by the referee.
Cardenas with this restart. He's got Lovegrove to his left. He's got Rio in the right corner, plays it to the left corner for Tapia. Tapia off the inboards. It skips through the area, and then Echeverria gets it across his own line. Sagu will come out, trap it. A low liner up the right side for Sean David. Sean David in the corner, getting jostled around by Rios. Carvalho grabs possession. Loses it to Sean David, but a foul call. Fouls on Rio.
Oh, that's so ticky-tack.
Blame it on Rio.
Man. Oh, the river. The river got him.
3:02 to play in the second. Tied 4-4.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Carvalho keeps it under the superstructure. Finds his target in the corner. That's Brambilla. Brambilla's getting tugged on by Lee. Takes a shot that Rio blocks. Turlock keeps possession, though. Comes to Rojo on the left side. Now he goes back to Rea. Max in the middle. Varela trying to find Rea. He couldn't control it. It's along the boards and won by Lee. Trying to spin out of a double team. Loses it to Rojo. Max keeps it on the ground. Intercepted by Aligwe, who moves up the middle. Aligwe up the center forward channel. Inside the Turlock line. Has it on his left foot. Plays it to Lee. Lee off the inboards. Didn't know that Aligwe had fallen down. And at midfield, the Outlaws control as Rio sends it back to Sagu.
Oh, and I thought Rojo, their number 3 for Turlock, could have easily been called for the foul on a league way. That ball was long gone. He pushed off of a league way.
Brambilla keeps it away from Ellis, but sends it over the boards out of play. With 1:45 to play in the second quarter, tied 4-4. Mesquite scored 3 goals in the first. Turlock came back, scored the next 4. Leagueway tied the game at 10:04 of the second. That's where we stand with 1:43 to play in the half. Sagu keeping it low, plays it into the corner. Carvalho comes out of the area and controls for the Cal Express. He finds Campos. Campos with a one-touch pass. Pushing it forward up the left side, turns it over to Nunez. Nunez trying to get it to Jones, but it skips over the boards.
Yeah, just a little bit high there. He had Mike Jones. Mike Jones, I'll tell you right now, Mike Jones wants a goal. I can see he's just going up. He's pushing up a lot more than he typically does. I think he wants to make up for that first goal, I think, in the first, right, Pete? And I think MJ's got a mission tonight.
Tied at 4. Ball goes past Campos, and Aligwe takes it away. Aligwe begins the attack.
It's Valdez. Easy trip.
There's a good look at Kick and Brass. Those guys make this a really fun atmosphere here at the Mesquite Arena.
They do. It's fun. We got our own brass band here in Mesquite. And Anthony
now it's
Powell.
Powell who's getting fouled by Rojo. Powell ends up on the carpet with 47 seconds to play in the second quarter.
That's a good opportunity for the Outlaws. They can set this up.
Cardenas will have the free kick just outside the Turlock line. Drives it to the corner. One touch for Nunez, and Carvalho makes the save, and Turlock begins a counterattack. Here's Gutierrez at the left wing side. Sagu left the goal wide open and got it with his hand.
Yeah, no doubt at all. As he was sliding down, his left hand got out there, got a piece of the ball. I don't think that ball's going in, frankly, but it was just enough, and it was very, very clear.
Sagu had help behind him with Mike Jones, but he handled it.
Yep.
And that's the first blue card issued, and Benning will go to the penalty box.
Oh, man. You hate that for Coach Tattoo, or sorry, Coach Tattoo and Coach Sagu.
This will be a shootout with 37 seconds to play in the second quarter. Gutierrez will have a chance to break a 4-4 tie. Sagu making his first appearance since 2015, will try to stop Gutierrez. The leading scorer with 14 goals this year coming into tonight, lays it off to the right wing side. That'll be a goal for Turlock. They take gets the goal, assisted by Gutierrez on the shootout.
Man, that was a really nice play by the Turlock Cal Express, because they set that up. Number 10, Gutierrez knew exactly what he was doing, pulling that ball left, and unfortunately, Cody Ellis not able to get to the ball. Cody's saying right now that Rojo got an early jump off the line. I didn't see it personally, but he might have had a moment, but he's not going to get the call. So great setup by the Cal Turlock Express.
Yeah, Gutierrez drew Sagu out of goal and then set up his teammate, and Rojo gives the Express a 5-4 lead with 28 seconds remaining.
Yeah, crafty play. I don't think I've seen that this season where there was a designed pass to another player on a shootout opportunity. That was pretty impressive there. Nice call by head coach Edgar.
We're down to the final 20 seconds. And we'll have a restart at the attack line.
That's a superstructure violation. There's a square gone on the on.
Here's Cardenas with the approach. Drives it. Deflects off the wall, out of play. Still 16 seconds remaining. Cardenas cuts it back to Tapia. The defender goes by Tapia, but Tapia can't control. Cardenas gets there and cuts off Varela.
Oh,
Lovegrove now battling a double team. Varela feeds it to the top of the arc. It's teed up, and the shot goes wide off the right foot of Echeverria as time runs out. We've come to the end of the second quarter. The Turlock Cal Express have rallied from a 3-0 deficit to take a 5-4 lead in the locker room at half. Rio opened the scoring for Mesquite at 1:47 of the first, assisted by Tapia. Mesquite would double the lead at 11:06 of the first when Brendan Lee was assisted by Vic Moraligwe. Tapia scored an unassisted goal into a wide open net to make it 3-0, and it looked like the Outlaws were on their way at home tonight. But the second quarter, all Turlock for a while. 35 seconds in. Goal of the night, then Rea would score unassisted at 2:48, taking advantage of Jones losing his footing to make it 3-2. Matt Max right on the doorstep, assisted by Varela, tied the game 4 minutes into the second. Then at 8:52, Martin Arista made it 4-3 Express, but the 4-goal run ended when Vic Moraligwe scored for Mesquite, assisted by Nunez, even strength at 10:04. And we were tied 4-4 until just moments ago when Turlock reclaimed the lead off the Gutierrez shootout as he set up his teammate for an easy goal after drawing Sagu out of the goal. Gutierrez found his man Rojo to his right. Rojo scored at 14:27 of the second, and the Express have a 1-goal lead. They've played a lot of close games. They're 4-4 in 1-goal games this year.
Yeah, and Turlock doing a great job, but, you know, I got to say, I think the Mesquite Outlaws are really beating themselves. A number of the goals, we've seen mistakes. Of course, the early goal from Turlock when the goalkeeper came sliding out, Sanaldo Carvalho. But other than that, I really think Mesquite, they've had some sloppy defensive play, but not very good crisp passing. You saw the handball from Sagu way out of his box. That's an easy blue card, but you know, you just see a lot of mistakes from Mesquite we don't often see.
The Outlaws out shooting the Express in the first half, 20-17. We had 13 first half blocks, 7 for the Outlaws and 6 for the Express. The Express went 0 for 1 on the power play. We had 21 fouls in the first half. 12 called against the Cal Express and 9 against the Outlaws. And the Outlaws saw the only blue card, and that came on the play that you mentioned, Sagu handling the ball outside the area.
Yeah, they just really, Mesquite needs to clean it up a little bit on their defensive end. Job of capitalizing on the mistakes, so you got to give them credit. And, you know, maybe frankly, one of the nice plays, the designed plays on a shootout with the last
was a power ball. Officials Express cash in on their only power play opportunity, so they're 1 for 1 with a man advantage here. And neither one of these teams has been really good on the power play this year.
Yeah.
But with this shootout opportunity, Turlock was able to capitalize. They're now 6 of 32 on the two. So both teams coming into tonight right around 16% in terms of converting with the man advantage.
That's a big power play goal for sure, because as you just described, neither team gets a lot of power play goals, which is surprising with the Mesquite Outlaws, as many weapons as they have. They just haven't been very good capitalizing with the extra man.
The momentum is with the Cal Express as we go to the locker room. They were down 3-0, but at intermission they lead 5-4. Let's take you around the league. After splitting a pair of games in Tacoma, the Tropics rebounded from their 4-3 loss with a 10-7 victory over winless Rochester last night. The Lancers rallied from a 3-0 deficit to tie that game 7-7, but the Tropics scored the final 3 goals of the game. Guillermo Dos Santos had 4 goals and 2 assists in the win for Florida, and Ricardo Carvalho scored 2 more goals. That gives him 21 goals in 20 games for the Tropics. He's scoring on 31% of his shots and has 44 points for Florida, which is 17-3, leading the Eastern Conference. Florida plays 3 of its final 4 games at home, including a game. Florida will host Kansas City again before playing at Orlando. The Tropics host Turlock in their season finale. Second place, Utica at 14-4 faces Kansas City tomorrow. Utica is 7-1 at home, but coming off a 14-5 loss at Sonora after winning the night before, 12-11. The loss snapped a 7-game winning streak for Utica, including a sweep of Mesquite and Dallas here in Texas. 4 of their final 6. They play at Harrisburg twice. They also face Dallas and Rochester before they close the season at home against Milwaukee. The Wave right now are third in the East with a 12-6 record. They're coming off a 7-3 loss at Ontario. They're hosting Orlando for a pair of games at Panther Arena this weekend. Milwaukee won the only previous meeting 10-3. The Seawolves go to Milwaukee with a 12-game losing streak. They're 0-10 on the road this season, entering the weekend with a 1-17 record. And tonight, the Wave leading the Seawolves 9-3 at last report in the fourth quarter. Milwaukee with a 9-3 lead in that game, outshooting the Seawolves 30-16. Milwaukee will visit St. Louis and then wrap up the regular season against Baltimore, Utica, and Harrisburg. Baltimore and Harrisburg battling for 4th place in the East, and those 2 teams playing tonight at SECU Arena in Baltimore. It's the penultimate game for the Blast. They'll be closing the season on the road against the Wave next weekend. Harrisburg has won 2 of the 3 meetings with Baltimore, including a 9-5 victory at home on February 23rd, when Tavoy Morgan and Dominic Francis each had a hat trick for the Heat, who outscored Baltimore in the fourth quarter of that game 4-1. William Exe had 2 goals in the win for Harrisburg, which plays their 4 remaining games at home, including 2 against Utica. The Heat will be hosting Dallas next Sunday before hosting Milwaukee on March 22nd. They're seeking their 3rd straight win as they visit the Blast tonight. With a win, Harrisburg would be 500 away from home. Baltimore 9-2 at home. They have a plus 67 goal differential overall this season. You can add to that because they have beaten the Heat tonight 9-5 at SECU Arena. Monterey has clinched the West, and San Diego has a 3-game lead over Ontario for 2nd in the division. The Fury have a 1-game lead over Sonora, which is 11-11. The Stars are 7-10. They're playing a big game at home tonight, a big game on the road tonight at Ontario. They've lost 2 meetings with the Fury after winning their first encounter 8-5. The Stars play their next 3 games against San Diego and host Mesquite for a pair of games to close out the regular season. Sonora is playing Monterey twice next week to wrap up their schedule. Sonora defeated Monterey last night 11-7. Ishmael Rojo scored a hat trick. That was in the 3rd quarter. Jose Antonio Cruz Armenta, he was the number 1 star. In the season-long star points race, Frank Tayu of Ontario is running away with the title. He has 310 points, 8 number 1 stars, 3 number 2 stars, and a number 3 star. Brian Aguilar of Monterey and Ian Bennett of Milwaukee each have 250 points. Craig Childs has 230 points for the Sockers. Leo Gibson of Kansas City is the only other player with 200 points. Adrian Gutierrez has 150 star points for the Cal Express, and Anthony Powell has 90 star points. 5-4 in the home finale for the Mesquite Outlaws.
Fan appreciation tonight, Pete. You got to love it. You got the kiss cam rolling. You got the kids playing on the field. I love this sport. I love this game. It's so much fun.
In their first season here at the Mesquite Arena, the Outlaws are 4-7 at home, trying to get a 5th home victory here tonight in the finale. And they've got a good crowd here for fan appreciation night. And they got a little bit shell-shocked after watching Turlock go on a 4-goal run to take the lead and go to the locker room with a 5-4 advantage.
Yeah, a little bit. Just some defensive mistakes out of Outlaws that we don't see very often. It's a big deal when you don't have your starting goalkeeper back there. You're very used to having him in certain places, knowing exactly what he can do, and then boom, all of a sudden, although he's a coach and obviously he plays with this team a lot in practice, you alluded to, Pete, practice is a lot different from a game.
Way different. And Pollo Cortez has been really good this year.
Oh, my gosh, he's been amazing. I mean, look at his rookie season. It's just 5-0 goals. 5 saves on 328 shots. I mean, expectations. Cody Ellis told me before the season I'm going to love him. And, boy, I tell you, he wasn't wrong at all.
He gutted out that second half last week against Monterey, playing injured and not able to go tonight. And as you mentioned earlier, their backup goaltender, Estevan Vasquez, is out on national team duty for futsal.
Yeah.
So they've had to rely on the veteran Sagu, and Sagu's had a kind of a tough night. He's had a tough time with distribution. He's been dealing with the superstructure. He's given up 3 top-of-the-arc restarts. And just a couple of times he's been caught out of position, got called for a handball coming out of the area. Really, I thought he was making a pretty nice play, but unfortunately made contact with the ball with his hand outside the area. He had Jones behind him to give him some support, but things really haven't gone his way. But the guy hasn't played since 2015.
and he's 46. He's going to be 47, he told me, in 2 weekends. So, I mean, that's why I was lobbying. I told him, I said, man, do you think they'd let me come down and I got one of those awesome, jerseys, the replica jerseys tonight. So I was like, maybe I could slip that thing on, and they let me go down and play a little defense. But they wouldn't let me do it, man. I was a little disappointed.
The defense has been disappointing tonight for Mesquite. There's no doubt. They've given up 5 goals, and this is a team in the Cal Express that's only averaging 5.4 goals per game, and the Outlaws give up 5 goals in the first half.
Well, then that implies that it's going to be a can't go any farther past that.
Of course, the problem for the Outlaws is they're only averaging 4.9 goals per game.
So you're there with the quick stats, Pete. I was having a good moment there.
The Outlaws, that really has kind of been their Achilles heel. They just haven't scored enough. I hate to be oversimplistic, but it was good to see them come out here tonight and take a 3-goal lead. You thought maybe that would give Sagu a little bit of a cushion, but then their defense kind of betrayed them.
But I like what talent. George De Leon, Brendan Lee, Rio Ramirez in back, and then of course up front, guys like Nunez and that are these rookies that are really coming into their own at the latter half of the season. And it's a nice balance between rookie, veteran on this Outlaws team. And
he's got a goal in 4 straight games. Now, he still hasn't scored here tonight.
There you go.
He's got 6 points in that span. He scored in 11 of his 14 games for the Outlaws, including the first 2 goals in the history of the franchise in that season-opening 7-5 win over the Sidekicks. And De Leon took a couple of shots here in the first half. And, if you're looking for a guy who might score a goal here in the second half for the Outlaws, he would certainly be a prime candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. George De Leon. J.J. Oteze's been a little quiet tonight. Typically, he's a guy that really chips in on the front end with offensive opportunities. Anthony Powell is another guy, he's third on the team with 9 goals. I mean, he could heat up really easily, very fast, and get a couple goals. So they've got enough weapons, does Tattoo.
Yeah, and it's not like Turlock's putting on a clinic out here.
No.
They've been very sloppy with the ball as well.
Yeah, they've made quite a few mistakes. To me, the Carvalho, where he came out, he had a couple defenders. He didn't realize he had defenders with him and didn't retreat back on the Omar Tapia goal. That was one that I think they'd like to take back. But, yeah, I mean, it's, it hasn't – these two teams, we talked about it to start the game, they're very, very evenly matched. You look at across all their stats, they're almost identical. Obviously the one big difference, of course, is the 7 wins and 11 losses. The offense, the stats across the board, very, very similar for both teams.
Looking at De Leon's line, he's got 3 shots in this game, and for the season, he's been shooting at a 43% clip.
Yeah.
So if I'm Tattoo, I'm telling George De Leon, keep shooting.
Right, exactly. He had a couple shots. I don't think any of them really were terribly, egregious, getting on net that gave the Turlock Express fits when he shot him. But I think he'll settle down a little bit. I think also, Vigmore had a great first half too, a goal and an assist. He's another guy. He tends to shoot and score. Easily see a hat trick out of Vigmore tonight.
And that's a goal in 3 straight games now for a league way. And they need more production from Vigmore, a league way. And Mesquite's got 20 first-half shots. In fact, they're out shooting Turlock here through the first half, 20-17. They had an 8-4 advantage in the first quarter. Then Turlock got off 13 shots in the second quarter to 12 for the Outlaws.
Well, yeah, it's really nice. And I'll tell you, if you said, Matt, if you had to put money on who was going to score in the second half, there's one guy I would put money on without hesitation. That's Mike Jones. I'm telling you, Mike Jones, he's on a mission. He's going to get a goal or an assist, watch, in the second half. He's always very accountable for his play. He always holds himself very, very to very high standards. So, that one little mishap in the first, and I think that's going to sit on him, and he's going to want to get that one back. I just know Jonesy. I think he's going to go out there and get a point in the second half.
We had 21 fouls called in the first half, 12 against the Cal Express, 9 called against the Outlaws, 13 blocks, 7 for the Outlaws, and 6 for the Express.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. That's really good on Turlock because, as we talked about, 3 players for the Mesquite Outlaws. Cody Ellis with 32 blocks coming into the game. Mitchell Cardenas with 32 blocks and Mike Jones with 26 blocks. Ellis and Cardenas are tied for third in the MASL, and Mike Jones with eighth in the MASL with his 26. And these I'll tell you, that's the one thing about the Outlaws. If you want to watch how to position yourself, how to stop a shot, how to be quick and good and putting your body in front of shooters, man, watch the tape of these Mesquite Outlaws team. They do it extremely well.
Both teams are back out getting ready for second half action here in the home finale at the Mesquite Arena for the Mesquite. And I think they've done a nice job making this a nice indoor soccer. I've told you I love kicking brass, and they've been
experience.
I love it. And you need a band at these games, and the Outlaws have done it. They've got a brass band here, and I just think it helps bring some energy into the building.
Yes, Director of Soccer Operations, Floyd Smith. We should mention him for the Mesquite Outlaws. I think that was his brainchild. He does such a great job of creating an awesome fan experience here at the Mesquite Arena. Of course, GM front office, all those folks. Christie did a phenomenal job. You really got to hand it to this staff. It's hard with a new franchise. You're starting from nothing, literally, and they have really built an incredible product here in Mesquite.
You're watching the Mesquite Outlaws on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. I'm Pete Stein along with Matt Thornton, and we're ready to start the second half here at Mesquite Arena. Turlock leading 5-4. Mesquite scoring the first 3 goals. Turlock going on a 4-goal run. Vicmore Oligwe tied it. And then following a penalty on a Sagu penalty for handling outside the area, Turlock took the lead just before intermission.
And it's Mike Jones, you can see him directing traffic, trying to get Cody Ellis to make a run up.
Sagu sends it up the right side looking for Oligwe, marked by Gutierrez. Oligwe off the end boards. It gets past Oteze. Rojo brings it out of his own end and now retreats as Lovegrove follows him.
Great thought there by Oligwe. Oteze just overrun the ball just a tad, but a really crisp little off-the-wall pass by Oligwe.
This is Rojo making the run up the right side into Mesquite territory, then slows things down for the Cal Express. Remember, this is the first of a back-to-back for Turlock. They'll play at the Allen Event Center tomorrow afternoon against the Dallas Sidekicks. The Sidekicks and the Outlaws, the 2 Texas teams, both eliminated from playoff contention. The Express holding on by a thread. Here's a shot. That's just high and wide. Sagu reached up for it, but he didn't have a chance, and this one will be sent over his head. It was Varela who took the first shot.
Yeah, man, couple of nice shots from Turlock coming out of the bat. Just coming out hot, trying to apply the pressure on Sagu. Again, Oligwe, he got that ball, just couldn't quite clear it. The defensive mistakes could cost the Outlaws the win here tonight.
Sagu distributing, but that's headed by Jermaine. Jones trying to win it back. Campos gets to it. Over to Jermaine. To Bonilla. Lee pressures Bonilla. Sent back to Carvalho. Mesquite with good high pressure. Carvalho gets it to midfield where Cardenas nods it down to the feet of Lee, and Lee gets run over by Bonilla.
Yeah, that's an easy call for the referee. Just ran right over the back of Brendan Lee. I love Brendan Lee, man, what he does.
Here's De Leon. De Leon with a crossover move, a left-footed shot, and a goal! De Leon is on the board, and we're tied 5-5.
Saucy move from George De Leon, and then the nutmeg of Carvalho for the back of the net. Boy, you called it, Pete. George De Leon getting on the board.
Games for De Leon, who's got 7 points in that span and has now scored in 12 of his 15 games. And the Outlaws have come back to tie it 5-5.
Yeah, it's such a nice play from George De Leon. Just a couple of moves there prior to that replay footage, but really, really nice job on the left side.
So Turlock once again in a tie game. Cardenas assisting De Leon at 1:43 of the third, and the Outlaws are on the attack again. Nunez finds Tapia, play back to Sean David. David pushes it up the Cardenas. Cardenas sent that pass through the legs of Echeverria. Tapia has it along the left wing boards. Find Nunez open on the right side. Nunez is marked by Rea. David has it at halfway. Cardenas controls in the referee crease.
And Cardenas assisted on the George De Leon goal. That's his 7th assist of the season.
Less than 12 and a half minutes remaining in the third. We're tied 5-5. Sagu off the shoulder of Cardenas into the hands of Carvalho. Carvalho, pressured by Tapia, sends it up the right side. Backing up is Valadez and sets up Jermaine, and Sagu makes the save.
Yeah, and Sagu. Nice play by the veteran goalkeeper. Ball out of the air.
The official checking Sagu to make sure they don't have to go through concussion protocol. The outlet pass is delivered to De Leon. He's looking for another goal with the right foot, sends it off the in glass high, and Aligwe was hoping to retrieve it off the corner glass, but it skips over out of play.
Yeah, George, I think he knew he was kind of out of position there, just trying to get it off the wall. Unfortunate, Aligwe couldn't bring it down.
11:42 to play in the third. A De Leon goal has tied it at 5 here in the second half. The Cal Express move into Mesquite territory, play to the corner, and then off the end boards. Nobody is there for Brambilla, and here comes the counterattack with Lovegrove up the right channel. Inside the Turlock line, and into the goal! Jamie Lovegrove scores, and the Outlaws reclaim the lead, 6-5.
What a play by Jamie Lovegrove. Started all the way in his defensive end. Long run down the line. Beautiful job. Right foot from a tough angle. Back of the net. That is his 15th goal of the season. Still leading his team. The captain doing it with a hurt groin and a hurt of his.
He looked pretty healthy making that run.
Player. He has been for years and years, and he's gutting through it, man. He's fighting through it, and you can see him. He immediately sits down and collects himself. He's just a team guy. You know, the brand on the front always means more to him than the name on the back, and that's the type of player that he is. Pretty special.
Gutierrez, the leading scorer for Turlock, plays it back to Carvalho. He finds Rojo to his left. Carvalho looking upfield for a target, settles for Gutierrez, who's marked by Lee. Gutierrez back to the keeper. Carvalho rolls it up to the top of the arc and sends it all the way down to Sagu, who moves to his right, traps it, controls for the Outlaws, finds Lee, plays it to his feet. Cardenas has possession inside his own line, over to Sagu. Sagu plays it into space, and that's intercepted. Sagu backing up, and it's off the inboards. It skips past him. Campos not able to get a foot on it. Neither is Jones, and Gutierrez is finally able to corral it.
Out of position, they try to get it over his head. Nice idea for Turlock.
Intercepted by Lee, who chested down. Back heels it for Oteze to Jones. Leaves it for Max. Back to Rojo, who chested down, moves forward.
Good retreating back defensive play by Mike Jones there, getting that header on it.
Jones trying to get it to Cardenas, but sailed it out of play.
And this will be top of the arc.
A chance for the Cal Express to reclaim the lead. They led 4-3 and 5-4, so trying to take a lead for the third time tonight. Or trying to tie it here at 6, I'm sorry. Off the end glass, in the area, it's loose. Cardenas on the goal line juggles it and then clears.
Whew.
And Brambilla is shaken up. Here comes Nunez. Up the left wing side. Got a man open. And that's another goal! How about that? The Outlaws are up 7-5 as again Carvalho is out of position and De Leon scores his second goal of the game, assisted by Nunez with 9:22 to play in the third.
What an incredible play by George De Leon. Dive down for that ball and a move to the left. Beautiful job into the goal, but also a nice pass from Ramon Nunez through traffic, low and perfect to the feet of George De Leon. Wow, look at these rookies just taking a step, looking impressive tonight.
De Leon into a yawning net, makes it 7-5. Gutierrez in the corner, in front. Sagu leaves a rebound, but there's nobody there for Turlock.
Great save by Sagu. had a wide open man behind him, prevented that goal, no doubt about it.
And then clamps down as Valadez brings the pressure. Distributed to Aligwe. Gets around Campos, who tripped up Aligwe.
Yeah, it's a good call. Aligwe Campos didn't want to try to chase Aligwe down again. He knew that Aligwe turned. He's right. Catch him.
Lovegrove back to Sagu. Keeps it on the ground, but doesn't have a target. It's taken away by Polito, who turns it over to David. Rio side boots it, and then that is held in play by David, who gets it to Lovegrove. Lovegrove directing traffic. Just over 8.5 minutes to play in the third. Lovegrove sends it toward Aligwe, but Polito is there.
I think Lovegrove wanted Cody Ellis to run up because Lovegrove was playing the left defensive position. He was trying to get a switch.
Lovegrove with the restart to Aligwe. Aligwe pulled to the turf. The official says play on. Campos plays it diagonally into the path of Rea. Rea moves up the left side. Rea picked up by Oteze. Rea goes down, and out comes a blue card.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get Cody. I don't think that the call required the card, but certainly not an egregious. I didn't think he didn't necessarily not require the card, but their feet got tangled up for sure. But I think he was on his way to take a shot.
Ellis did not lodge much of a protest.
Yeah.
Outlaws lead by 2, 7-5, but Turlock goes on the power play. They're 1 for 1 with the man advantage tonight. They scored off a Gutierrez shootout. He set up Rojo. Sagu makes a save here, denying Gutierrez. It's cleared to midfield and then out of play over the short boards at midfield.
Yeah, we mentioned the Turlock Cal Express 16% power play coming in.
To the right wing side, on the back post, there's a power play goal.
Oh, man, once again, just too easy for the Cal Express. Sitting on the back post, wide open, and that nice job there to kind of redirect with his knee.
Varela setting up the goal for Echeverria. You want to score goals? Where do you hang?
Twice, extremely effectively. Cardenas was in front of him, but you got to play the ball, and he just slightly missed on the player there, wide open on the back post.
Just over 8 minutes to play here in the third. Plenty of action in this game between two teams who probably are not going to see, well, Mesquite definitely not going to see any postseason action, and it's going to be tough for Turlock to get in.
And Anthony Powell back on. We haven't seen him with many shifts in the first half, so maybe he'll get some more. Maybe it was head coach Tattoo saving him for the second half.
Carvalho beyond his own line, plays it to the feet of Bonilla. He gets pressured by Powell, who now pressures Carvalho. He lobs it back out to Bonilla. Bonilla pushes up the right side, goes down as he runs into Powell, and they'll call Powell for the foul.
Yeah, just hand fighting along the wall. I didn't necessarily agree with that one because to me, Bonilla was pushing off just as much as Powell was.
Varela will restart play with less than 7.5 minutes remaining here in the third. Rojo up the left side into Mesquite territory, picked up by Cardenas. Intercepted, taking it away. Here comes the Outlaws. That's Lee, and Lee gets tripped up by Varela. And the Outlaws will get a restart at midfield.
Nice job tracking back by Brendan Lee there to get the ball back. Good work, putting in great work.
7-6, Mesquite with the lead. There's a timeout on the field here at the Mesquite Rodeo Arena. In the home finale for Mesquite, the Outlaws trying to end a two-game slide. Turlock looking for their fourth straight win. They come in with a 7-11 record. Mesquite is 6-14. They're 4-7 here at home, 6-10 against the West. Turlock 5-11 against the West. The Outlaws right now with a minus 17 goal differential. And for Turlock, the goal differential for the season up to date, minus 14. They've played well as of late, coming off a 14-7 win over Orlando. They'll be in Allen tomorrow to take on the Dallas Sidekicks. The next game for the Outlaws is on the road at St. Louis. That'll be next Sunday, March 15th. They'll take on the Ambush.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Ramon Nunez has had quietly a nice game tonight. Has a couple of assists. George De Leon, your guy, you kind of called it, Pete. You said he was going to have a good second half. I'm impressed. I'm going to call you the Oracle from now on. Allison in Redwood City might have something to say if I called you the Oracle. That's an IT joke for you folks at home.
Nunez will restart play here. Right in front of the Turlock bench. Waiting for some of the civilians to get off the field here.
They had a little dance-off competition. I think everybody that won in that section got free Whataburger. Kind of jealous, Pete. Yeah, whatever section they came from, the whole section got free Whataburger.
I'll get my hands on some free Whataburger.
I know, man.
Take these Cal Express people to Whataburger. We introduced them to what a good Texas hamburger tastes like.
I know, that whole In-N-Out thing. In-N-Out's good, don't get me wrong, but it's no Whataburger.
Taken away by Tapia. Tapia trying to spin away from Rios. Gets it to Cardenas. Nunez receives it from Rio. Marked by Jermaine. Nunez goes right. Rio moves up the right wing, plays a wall pass to the feet of Nunez. Nunez draws the double team back to Cardenas with 6.5 minutes to play in the third. The Outlaws leading 7-6.
Good defense by Turlock to shut Nunez down on that nice run.
De Leon to Nunez, and then De Leon making the run up the middle as the ball is sent back to Cardenas. To Tapia. De Leon headed to the bench. Sean David's back in the game. Tapia moves up the left wing side. He's shadowed by Echeverria. David chases it down near halfway. Gets it to Rio, who's backing up. He'll let Sagu take control with 5:56 to play in the third. Up the middle to Lovegrove. Poor first touch, but has control of it. Nearly taken away by Rea. Sagu lifts it up the left side. Love.
What he was going to do, just popping that ball over his head, catching him in stride. So unfortunately popped a little bit high over the wall.
Rojo was there defensively, and it's Rojo who restarts play. The Cal Express trailing by 1. They've played 8 one-goal games. They started off the season playing 5 straight one-goal games.
Wow. Yeah, good defensive team. You know, they've had a couple of mishaps, but you see them sliding back. The double team anytime the Outlaws make a nice run.
Gutierrez gets it back to Carvalho. Jones along the boards. Gets it to David, to Lovegrove. A veteran unit out there right now for the Outlaws. And Ligway and Ellis also out there. Carvalho plays it short to Varela. Varela marked by David. Left for Carvalho to Rojo. Up the left side, sends it past to Ligway. Getting it to Valadez. To Rojo on the overlapping run. Back to Valadez. He fires across the face of goal and out of play.
Man, and there he is once again, Luis Brambilla on that back post waiting wide open. The Outlaws very fortunate. That ball had a little bit too much velocity to where Brambilla. That back post. I'll give him that.
Lee back to Jones. Sagu traps it, sends it up the middle. And then that's going to skip over the wall before Powell can get to it. Powell defended by Bonilla. 4:20 to play in the third. The Outlaws lead 7-6.
Yeah, a couple of just near bounces there, just inches away from a nice opportunity for the Outlaws, but the ball bouncing over the short wall.
Mesquite's had 2 runs of 3 goals in this game. They open 3 in a row to go ahead 7-5 after falling behind 5-4. Now leading by a goal. Brambilla with a power play goal for Turlock, the last goal in this game. We're under the 4-minute mark now in the third quarter. Oteze coming out of his own end. Plays it right to Rio, who pushes it toward halfway. To Cardenas. Three and a half minutes remaining in the third quarter. Turlock with a high pressure. Here comes Cardenas. Plays it into space. Carvalho out of the area, plays it himself. Brambilla traps it, plays it back to Rojo, and then goes to the bench as Campos comes back on for Turlock. 3:10 to play in the third. Ortiz on the ball, poked away by Lee. Ellis moves left. Lee takes it away and begins a counterattack. Lee serpentines his way toward the attack line, pass into the area, and Powell scores the goal!
What a great run once again by Brendan Lee, whipping and diving and weaving all through traffic and finds his guy, Anthony Powell, who beautiful job, back to goal, spin around, back of the net on the one-timer. What an incredible play. Man, you gotta love the rookie Brendan Lee on that run, though. Goodness gracious.
Pow, pow, it's an 8-6 lead. Powell scores for the Outlaws.
I thought it was Batman there for a second. I was in a throwback Batman.
Anytime we can work in the onomatopoeia, we're going to do it around here.
All right, I love it. So a goal and an assist tonight for Brendan Lee. And then how about Anthony Powell on the board with the goal?
Nunez chasing this down for the Outlaws. Outlaws have played well here in the third quarter, but a turnover in their own end creates problems for Sagu. The shot for Gutierrez is too high. Matt Max not able to get it out of his own end. The ball goes out of play. Last touched by the Outlaws Express. They trail by 2 with 2:34 to play in the third.
Yeah, the Outlaws really picked up their offense here. Doing a good job of pressuring.
Gutierrez moves in on Tapia, fires Cardenas off his chest, directs it to the boards. Gutierrez is there for the Cal Express, sends it to the top of the arc. Reyes not able to trap it, comes all the way to the boards, and Nunez gets taken down along the wall, and the foul is called, giving Mesquite a free kick out of their own end. Reyes gets called for the foul. Nunez back to Sagu. Pressured by Jermaine. Gets it to Jones. One-touch pass blocked right back in the direction of Jones. Off the end boards and into the area. Covered up by Sagu. Nervous moments for the Outlaws.
Sagu. Probably making that 46, almost 47.
Sagu distributes up the left side, but Max is the only one there. Then a long ball in, headed by Cardenas. Cardenas in the corner. Brambilla is there for Turlock, but can't get a touch. It's out to Tapia, and Tapia has control of it. Begins the counterattack, finding De Leon moving up that right wing side. And a stoppage of play. It'll be a restart. They might have got a handball called there.
Yeah, I think so. I can't figure out what. So we got to get away from him. And then there's players changing. It's chaos.
Sent to the Mesquite line. The express control. Valadez has it in the referee crease. Sent all the way back to Carvalho by Varela. Aligwe pressuring Rojo. Back to Carvalho, 1:15 to play in the third. Valadez keeps it on the ground. Plays it to Arista, who scored a goal earlier tonight. Haven't seen much of him here in the second half. Carvalho keeps it underneath the superstructure. Plays it to the left wing side. Turlock keeping possession here as we go under the 1 minute mark. Varela with possession. Up the right side to Valadez. Varela sweeps it left to Rojo. He's marked by Aligwe. Moves inside the Mesquite line to the corner. Rio with a sliding tackle, unable to win it. Ellis clears it. Chested down and then fired toward goal. Sagu diving, it hit the post. And an opportunity for Varela.
Boy, once again, ball inches away from going into the goal. You can see that. And Sagu fortunate to get a left arm on that to knock it out, the rebound. And then Cody Ellis in perfect position to get the block right after. Great defensive play.
31 seconds remaining in the third. Campos with the restart from the corner spot on the right side. Arista with a back heel. Varela right into Sagu, who makes the save. And then a foul called, and it's going to be goalkeeper distribution.
Yeah, it's Campos. I think he kicked a league way.
Outlaws with a 2-goal lead with time winding down. 20 seconds remaining in the third. Oteze into the corner. Lost it to Rojo. To Campos. Arista heads it down to Bonilla. Bonilla bats it to midfield. Cardenas gets it to Aligwe. 8 seconds remaining. Aligwe to Lovegrove, looking for the far side netting. Cardenas corrals it along the boards as time runs out. We've come to the end of the third quarter at Mesquite Arena, and the Mesquite Outlaws are leading 8-6. Mesquite going on a 3-goal run here in the third quarter with 2 goals from De Leon, and in between, Jamie Lovegrove scoring for Mesquite.
Yeah, the captain there on that beautiful run down the right side. Started end, gets the ball, makes the long run, the difficult angle from the right side. Doing it with a bad back, a bad groin. He's duct taped up, but the captain, he's a warrior. He fought through it, and he got the goal. Beautiful job.
After Brambilla scored at 6:54 of the third on the power play, assisted by Varela, Anthony Powell scored for Mesquite, assisted by Lee, making it 8-6, and that's where we stand headed to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, an impressive quarter there for Mesquite. Certainly did a much better job on the defensive end, much more disciplined. You didn't see the mistakes that they had earlier in the first half. And then how about you the soothsayer over there, calling George De Leon getting on with a couple of goals. Nice job from the rookie. You know, he's one of those guys you just can't keep him down for long. So he's pressing for his hat trick. And then I also think Vicmore Aligwe, you never want to count him out either.
De Leon now with a streak of scoring in 5 straight games and has now scored in 12 of his 15 games, of his last 15 games. Well, yeah, he's had 15 appearances this year, and it's 8-6.
There you go.
Mesquite looking for their 7th win of the year, trying to end a 2-game slide. A disappointing performance against Dallas as they were going for a season sweep of their crosstown rival, and then fell way behind Monterey and ended up losing that game 9-7.
Yeah, you can see this team, they've got a great core of young rookie players that are just now learning the game, that are playing in their first season as professionals in the MASL. So I like their rookie core, and then you could argue some of the best coaching staff in the league. You know, you've got Tattoo, Stavros, Sagu over there. I mean, I like your odds against any coaching staff in the entire league when you got those guys on your bench.
Couch and Kevin Smith have also been working as assistant coaches.
Yep.
So certainly a lot of indoor experience.
Yeah, my goodness. Kylie Couch, the great defensive player for the Sidekicks for many seasons.
So the Outlaws trying to hold on to a 2-goal lead here for the final 15 minutes against the Cal Express this season. Back because they're in action tomorrow afternoon at the Allen Event Center playing the Dallas Sidekicks.
The Texas two-step. And I'll tell you, as both of those teams, as they mature and they get more players, the Sidekicks have a lot of rookie players too. It's going to be a nasty little Texas two-step. It's only going to get harder for teams coming through here in future seasons.
The Outlaws outscore the Express in the third 4-1 despite being outshot 8-4. And the Express out shooting the Outlaws 25-24 for the game. And we've had 27 fouls called, 16 against the Express, 11 called against Mesquite. 16 blocks. The Outlaws credited with 10 of those blocks. We're underway in the fourth. The Express trail by 2. They've overcome a 3-goal deficit in this game already. Rojo trying to get it past Lovegrove. Now Jones comes over to help defensively. The ball is sent to the right wing side for Gutierrez. Blocked by Oteze. And Oteze cleared it out of play. That's a top-of-the-arc restart for the Turlock Cal Express.
Yeah, he's mad at himself because he just kind of swung at the ball and got it out, but could have just blocked it down to himself.
Campos to Gutierrez to the corner, and Echeverria missed the net.
Oh, man. Boy. Nasty little opportunity for Turlock. Just couldn't put it away, but, ooh, man, an interesting play by Campos, just tapping it to the left.
Valadez controls along the wall. Back to Gutierrez. To Valadez. One-touch pass back to Germain. Marked by Aligwe. Gutierrez receives it off the wall with Oteze in front of him. We've played just over a minute of the fourth quarter as Gutierrez gets it inside the Mesquite line. It's cleared, but only as far as Germain, who misses wide right. Cardenas with a wall pass to Lovegrove. Lovegrove is pushed to the ground by Valadez.
Yeah, Jamie's kind of slow to get up there, hobbling off. Good play on the wall there.
Cardenas with a diagonal ball finds Anthony Powell right at the Turlock line. Powell double teamed along the boards. Sounds the whistle, stopping play. It'll be a restart for Mesquite.
Good work on the boards by Anthony Powell.
Valadez gets called for the foul. Sagu getting high pressure from Echeverria. Sends it up the right side. Powell gets taken down by Valadez.
Yeah, and that's a block directly into the wall, so that's a blue card. Sorry, Pete.
Nope.
Yep.
Valadez gets 2 minutes, and we see Mesquite on the power play. That's the good news. The bad news is Mesquite's only 5 for 32 with the man advantage this year. That's just over 15% of the time that they're capitalizing on the power play.
Yeah, and that wasn't, too terribly egregious of a push into the wall, but he certainly used his body, got all of Powell, and you want to call that because it's kind of dangerous. Good call by Mills.
Cardenas to the left wing side for Lovegrove. Back to Cardenas. Mesquite on the power play already leading by 2. Looking to take a 3-goal lead for the second time tonight. Lovegrove fires and scores! Jamie Lovegrove has his second goal of the game. And the Mesquite Outlaws, who once led 3-0, now lead 9-6. And they get a power play goal. They're now 6 of 33 with a man advantage.
Jamie Lovegrove with his 16th goal of the season. He loves that left side, and when you give him that much time, he is lethal. He's going to pick you apart. Great job. Now he's pushing for a hat trick too. Got a couple of guys.
Yeah, you're getting the goal scorers scoring goals tonight because Lovegrove scoring, Aligwe is scoring, De Leon is scoring, Tapia with a goal. Nunez getting twisted to the turf here by Gutierrez, giving Mesquite a restart with 12:58 to play in the fourth, leading 9-6. And The Outlaws need to keep pouring it on here.
Yeah, I love that they're not sitting back protecting the league. They're going after them.
Sagu delivers it into the corner. Oligwe is the target man, but that bounces into the hands of Carvalho. And he throws it into the path of Rojo, who races all the way to the Mesquite line, is cut off there, and now plays it back to Bonilla. Bonilla's pass is intercepted at the top of the arc by Sean David, who fends off the defender, Rea. David into the area looking for Nunez, but Bonilla is there. Nunez nearly won the ball back. It's cleared, but only as far as Ellis.
Good run by Nunez there. Nice play.
Sagu looks for a target, keeps it low, finds Oligwe. One touch to the chest of Lovegrove, who fires on a volley with his right foot, sends it into the seats.
A little bit ambitious there, perhaps, Jamie Lovegrove. He's laughing too. He's smiling. Ah, you gotta love him. He wants the hat trick. He wants it. He wants it for the fans. The fans love him. He's the face of the franchise, and the fans love him. He loves to entertain. He's a great face. He's a great brand ambassador for this franchise too.
We've played nearly 3 minutes of the fourth. Arista back to Carvalho. De Leon putting on the high pressure. Gardini gets it to Varela. The Outlaws win it at midfield. Powell chases it to the boards. Poked away by Jermaine. At the top of the arc, Varela has it. He's got Brambilla to his left, but goes right to Arista, who sends it out of play.
Good defense tracking back there by the Outlaws. That's the defense we're used to seeing out of this Mesquite team.
It'll be goalkeeper distribution for Sagu. 11:40 to play in the fourth quarter. Sagu. He turns it over to Campos. Campos to Jermaine. A nice spin move to get around Cardenas, but then is dispossessed, taken away by Lee. Jermaine couldn't get it from behind, and Lee's on the run. Lee's got a man, Tapia, wide open on the left side. Tapia with a poor first touch, loses it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez plays a wall pass that's intercepted by Cardenas, as Turlock fails to get it out of their own end and allows the Outlaws to regroup.
Oh, Omar Tapia, man, just one little touch, and he's got Brendan Lee on the 1-2, wide open for the goal, and a nice run by Brendan Lee, the rookie. But, man, just kind of exploded off of Omar Tapia's foot. He just couldn't get it down.
Oteze moving into Turlock territory, but the Cal Express take over possession. Rojo gets it to Rios. In the center circle, Ellis wins it, taking it away from Campos, and then Max comes over to claim possession for Turlock. They begin the counterattack. Campos on the right wing, defended by Lee, and now Ellis comes over to help out, and Lee has possession. Plays a back heel off the wall, and it's Polito who's there with possession for the Cal Express. His shot deflected, and here's Rio along the right wing boards, moving out of his own end. Play back to Oteze. Sagu's got 9 saves tonight, distributes to Tapia. One-touch pass intended for Lee is out of play, and it's a top-of-the-arc restart. You can't keep giving these up.
And Omar's yelling at Brendan Lee, but Omar, come on, man. You can't put and expect him to collect the ball. Goodness gracious, man.
It'll be Rojo on the restart. He's got Gutierrez to his left, plays it right for a one-timer.
The Turlock Express are no San Diego Sockers on the top of the arc play.
No, what is that, 6 chances they've had tonight?
I know, and I hold my breath because I forget they're not playing the Sockers with Childs and that lethal foot of his, but Turlock has certainly not been able to capitalize on it.
Jones in his own end. Double team, loses it to Echeverria. Echeverria sends it into the area, but Cardenas is there for the Outlaws. De Leon sends it across halfway, was looking for Cardenas, but it's intercepted by Rojo. Rojo moves into Mesquite territory, and Rojo gets pushed down by Jones. Rojo delivered a pass in the direction of Rayo, who was going to the bench.
Yeah, Jones just kicked him in the back of the leg there. Almost fortunate not to get a card on that one. That ball was long gone.
9.5 minutes remaining. Jones turns upfield. He's pushed down by Rojo.
Yep, there you go.
That's a blue card, and the Outlaws are on the power play. They've already scored once on the power play tonight. See if they can capitalize again, leading 9-6 with 9:28 to play in the fourth.
Yeah, and Rojo didn't even question it. Mike Jones just spun. Rojo did not even go for the ball. Just full body, Mike Jones into the wall. Great shift by Mike Jones getting that blue card.
Cardenas plays it to the left wing side. Lovegrove off the wall, pokes it to the corner, sent into the area. Tapia can't get to it, but now it lands at his feet, and he plays it to Cardenas. Cardenas pushes it forward to Tapia, tried to deliver a one-touch pass to Aligwe, but it's intercepted. Turlock trying to get out of their own end, short-handed. Up and fires with the left foot, knocks Carvalho down as he makes his 11th save.
Oh, Jamie Lovegrove, he loves the left side, man. He's the British Lynx over there, just curled up, waiting to pounce.
Tapia finds Lovegrove to Cardenas. 1:12 remaining on the power play. 8:38 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Outlaws up by 3. Tapia to Cardenas. Cardenas, Lovegrove, one-timer on target, but Carvalho makes another save.
Oh, Lovegrove put on a clinic on the left side.
Cardenas fires. That's deflected by Bonilla to Lovegrove. Pass. It's loose in front, cleared, but only as far as Cardenas. Cardenas scores from the attack line. Another power play goal.
Fantastic play by Mitchell Cardenas there, but what's unfortunate is Jamie Lovegrove is still in the back of the net, down, hurting. You can see in obvious pain. He made that long run and just got tripped up and is just now getting up. You can see his teammates immediately went over to him. A nice shot from Mitchell Cardenas, but hoping Lovegrove is all right because he's been battling through it. Holding that back, yep, holding his back. He told me his back and his groin are what's hurting him.
He was shaken up before that shot. He was already down at the goal line when Cardenas fired away, and Cardenas hits the back of the net to give the Outlaws their biggest lead of the game. They're up by 4, 10-6, with 8:10 to play in the fourth quarter, and they've got 2 power play goals tonight. They only had 5 all season coming into the game.
Yeah, and that's Mitchell Cardenas. Looks like his 6th goal of the season. He has a 7th assist tonight as well. So, again, another player having a really nice night with a couple points. Look at this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players with 2 points or more. Wow. Outlaws players, I should say.
4-goal lead for Mesquite. Less than 8 minutes for Turlock to get back into the game. Carvalho gets it to Max. Off De Leon, out of play. And with that, there's a timeout. 7:43 remaining. Mesquite 10, Turlock 6.
Yeah, really nice fourth quarter here for Mesquite, pouring it on the offensive side, doing a beautiful job of keeping the pressure up. I love that they're not sitting back, Pete. I was worried about that.
Mesquite with all 5 shots here in the fourth quarter, now out shooting Turlock 29-25. And for the third time tonight, they've got a 3-goal run. Powell, Lovegrove, and Cardenas have all scored since the 12:08 mark of the third. 2 goals here in the first 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, including the Cardenas and Lovegrove power play goals. Brambilla with a power play goal for Turlock. They also got a power play goal near the end of the second quarter from Rojo, assisted by Gutierrez on a shootout after Sagu was called for handling. The Outlaws took a 3-0 lead. The Express scored the next game at 4. The Rojo goal gave the Express a 5-4 lead at halftime, but De Leon scored a minute 43 into the third to tie the game, and the Outlaws have not looked back. Lovegrove scored, De Leon scored, making it 7-5. Brambilla with a power play goal to make it 7. For Mesquite.
Yeah, and you got to love that the Turlock Express have no shots in the fourth. 0 shots. That's pretty impressive. Again, the Outlaws kind of locking it down on defense here. Very, very impressive for Mesquite, not allowing a single shot. Granted, 7:43 in the fourth, so they got a lot of time, but still.
Hard to shoot when you don't have the ball.
Yeah.
Mesquite's dominating possession here.
That's that too. And Captain Jamie Lovegrove out on the field. Glad to see that, for sure.
Each team with 4 penalty minutes. We've had 31 fouls, 19 against the Express, 12 against the Outlaws. The Outlaws 2 for 2 on the power play. And that's been a big difference tonight as they've taken a 4-goal lead.
The 6th attacker on now for the Turlock Cal Express.
The 6th attacker on with 7.5 minutes to play, and it's Gutierrez who dons the 6th attacker jersey. They need 4 to tie and 5 to take the lead. In 7.5 minutes, Sagu makes a save. That's his 11th save of the game. Gutierrez chested down. Sean David pushes him around and gets called for the foul.
And the vintage Sagu from the crowd. You got to love that. Haven't heard that in a long time.
Not since 2015. Turlock moves in deep. Cleared out of the area by Sean David. Lovegrove gets it out past halfway into Turlock territory. Gutierrez retreating. Gets it to Jermaine. Lovegrove gets back on defense for Mesquite.
And you know Jamie wants desperately that third goal. He's saying, just give me that one little chance, that little window, and he'll put it home, I guarantee it.
Rojo to Gutierrez. Finds Varela on the right side. Varela to Gutierrez. Time winding down, less than 6.5 minutes remaining. Echeverrian, poor first touch. Jermaine with a shot. Sagu makes another save. Sagu's starting to warm up to the game.
Yeah, he is. He's looking good. No more distribution problems. I think he was just knocking the rust off a little bit.
There was plenty of it.
Yeah.
Gutierrez, marked by Cardenas. Back to Gutierrez. From Polito, and then Ellis with the interception inside the arc. Jones with the clearance, headed straight up by Rojo. Tapia knocks it down. Gutierrez retreating toward goal. It goes wide of him, and Gutierrez is able to push it forward for the Cal Express, getting it to Rojo.
16 goals tonight. This is why I love this sport. The people that I talk to that don't necessarily like soccer, I'm like, you'll like this. This is high scoring. It's very different from outdoor soccer.
Polito.
And just, fortunate for the Outlaws that he just hit it so high. But, man, gosh, these Turlock, they're incredibly good. They're probably the best I've seen this season playing the post, off post.
During this 3-game winning streak, Brambilla has scored 5 goals and had 7 points for the Express. A youngster just turned 20 back in December.
Kind of reminds me of Pee Wee Ortega. Very fluid.
Echeverria not able to pull the trigger. Here comes Jones with the counterattack. Stumbles across halfway, loses it to Gutierrez, and a foul called. And that's good officiating because they waited to see whether or not Mesquite had the advantage. Turlock's upset, but that's the way the game is supposed to be officiated.
I 100% agree. That's exactly what I was just going to say. Great job seeing if that Mike Jones could maintain possession. He couldn't, and you call the foul, the late foul. Beautiful job.
Ellis looks upfield for a target as Mesquite faces the 6th attacker, leading by 4 goals with less than 5 minutes to play. Trying to get it to Lovegrove, but Rojo cuts in front of him. good to see Lovegrove's out there.
Yeah.
After Gardenia scored that power play goal, Lovegrove was shaken up, but he's still going. Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. And time is ticking away, 4.5 minutes remaining. Ellis clears it. Gutierrez has it at halfway, loses it. Lovegrove can't get to it. It caroms to Rojo. Back to Gutierrez. Germain up the right side. Switches it left to Varela. Varela gets it on his left foot. Shoots, blocked by Ellis. Varela goes up to keep it away from Ellis and sends it over the corner glass, and a blue card shown.
Man, boy, I sure don't agree with that. I mean, that was a 50-50 ball. Cody Ellis just got the ball. He headed the ball. I mean, there was certainly contact, but Cody Ellis didn't push off into the boards or anything like that. I mean, to me, the Turlock Cal Express players' momentum threw him into the boards more than Cody Ellis did. Man, I don't like that one at all. And
neither does Cody Ellis.
Yeah, Cody Ellis or Sagu. Sagu's also.
Yeah, that looked like a play you see several times a night in an indoor game.
I know. It was just a 50-50 ball. No extension of the arm from Ellis whatsoever. Boy, all right.
So Mesquite goes shorthanded. They got a 4-goal cushion, 4:11 to play. Echeverria with the restart into the area, one touch.
Balls from Rojo there because they can get this ball, and now they can just run some time off. With that sixth attacker, it's a two-man advantage, frankly, for the Turlock Cal Express on the offensive end.
Sagu will have goalkeeper distribution. He'll need good distribution here. He'll try to get it deep, looking for Lovegrove, but that gets headed by Varela. Then Sean David gets a head on it for the Outlaws. It lands at the feet of Rojo, who pushes it into Mesquite territory. Sends it to the right wing boards for Varela to Echeverria. Out to Gutierrez wearing the sixth attacker jersey. Varela passes to the end boards along the right side. Headed by Varela, pinballs around. The Cal Express can't control it. Rojo finally has it. Switches it to Varela. Varela to Brambilla, and Varela was down, and Jones is called for the foul.
Yeah, Mike Jones, that was a heavy collision. Two big men with number 96, Turlock Cal Express Varela, and Mike Jones colliding into each other.
A minute 25 remaining on the power play. 3:36 to play in the game. They're down a man, and the Express have the sixth attacker on. Echeverria to Rojo. He feathers it to Germain, puts it in front. Sagu covers up, distributes left beyond halfway to Sean David. Not able to fend off Gutierrez. Now David controls, and he's wrestled to the ground by Gutierrez.
Yeah, it's clearly a blue card. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. Gutierrez just grabbed the feisty Sean David by the shoulder, pulled him down, and Jamie Lovegrove is firing up the fans. And, you can see a lot of body movement there. And look at that. That's easy. That's an easy call for the referees right there. Jim Mills immediately reaching for the card. Sean David with the clap in the face. ever the feisty ball of hate.
The Outlaws with a 4-goal lead. Gutierrez it's blue carded while wearing the sixth attacker jersey. And now Carvalho will come back in.
The shootout attempt. Come on, Love. Come on, baby. He's going for the hat trick is Jamie Lovegrove.
Echeverria is serving the penalty. For a minute 11 will be 4-on-4. Yeah, no, it's not Echeverria who's supposed to be in the penalty box.
Right.
It's Gutierrez.
Exactly. They didn't want their sixth attacker in the box, but unfortunately, guess what? Your sixth attacker's in the box, fellas. Good refereeing again here. And
yeah, Gutierrez can give up the sixth attacker jersey.
That was going to be my question. I wasn't sure if he could or not. But the question is, do you have another guy who can play the sixth attacker?
Well, he's carrying it into the penalty box with him. He just took it off. I think the officials wanted to take it off while he was in the penalty box.
All right, so this time, Pete, I'm watching that line to see if anybody encroaches.
Remember that the 4 players have to be in the center circle for Turlock as Lovegrove approaches, has the green light, fires, and there's the hat trick for Jamie Lovegrove.
Oh, baby. Jamie Lovegrove, vintage, removing his jersey, a la tattoo, old school vintage. Beautiful play from Jamie Lovegrove with the hat trick. You got to love the captain gritting it out and getting that 3rd goal. What a player throughout his vaunted career. And they said, put it back on, man. You got to. He didn't throw it into the stands, though, Pete.
Well, the budgets aren't what they were when Tattoo was throwing jerseys into the seats.
That's a valid point. Laughing. Clark Benning, Aligwe.
It's a 5-goal lead for the Outlaws, who coughed up a 3-goal lead early in this game.
Now
They're up 11-6 with 3:15 to play.
This will be some 4-on-4 play now with the power plays.
Still 4-on-4 for another 57 seconds. Crossover move. Arista put it on frame. Lovegrove again on the run. Lovegrove will just send this one deep into the corner. Stays in. Karam's off the boards and right into the hands of Carvalho, who rolls it into the path of Rojo. He moves up the left channel. Picked up by Cardenas. 34 more seconds of 4-on-4 play. The Outlaws lead 11-6. Rojo fires, and that's sent over the goal and out of play behind Sagu.
Yeah, Jamie there for a second looked like he wants more. Padding those stats. 17th goal of the season. By far and away his team's top producer in the points department now. 26 points.
Jones in his own end, turns it over. Varela fires and scores.
Oh, man. Boy.
So with 16 seconds left on the power play, 4-on-4 albeit, Varela scores to make it 11-7.
Yeah, and a great shot there from number 96, Varela. Wow, right off the post, and it froze Sagu because he thought it was going to bounce off, but it careened off the post and actually hit Sagu back in the net. What a nice little play from Varela.
Still 4-on-4 for another 16.
Put a damper on the mood now here.
Jones gets around Echeverria and gets past Rea, but then Polito wins the ball at his own line. Jermaine has it at halfway in the referee crease. Back to Carvalho, who moves forward up the middle. Polito can't trap it. He shuffles his way up the right side, turns it over to Jones. Sagu trying to clear it, but Jermaine is there to hold it in for Turlock.
The Outlaws now have 5 men on the field to the Turlock's 4 men for another 32 seconds.
Shot goes wide left. Shot coming from Rojo. Jermaine in the corner, battling Ellis, who's out of the penalty box. Here's Varela winding up. Shot blocked by Jones. Karam's off the corner boards. Varela chested down, but turns it over to Cardenas. 1:30 to play. Ellis to Cardenas. And Gutierrez is coming out of the penalty box. So it's 5-on-5 for 1:18. Late in the fourth quarter, the Outlaws leading the Express 11-7, and there's a timeout on the field.
Yeah, Mesquite's going to take the timeout, reset, get themselves set for the last few minutes here of the game.
Each team with 5 shots on goal here in the fourth. Turlock now out shooting Mesquite 30-29, but they've been outscored in the fourth period 3-1 and have been outscored in the half 7-2 as Mesquite leads 11-7.
And a good job there by Turlock turning it around. Remember, they were getting blanked on shots. They came back to tie the Outlaws here in the fourth. Right now for Mesquite and their fans.
The Outlaws credited with 13 blocks, 7 for the Express. The Express have been called for 20 fouls, 14 fouls called against the Outlaws. Each team has had 6 penalty minutes. The Outlaws 3 for 3 on the power play. The Express 1 for 3. Actually, the Express have scored 2 power play goals.
Oh, wow.
They have not. That one that Gutierrez set up Rojo, they have his even strength, but that was a power play goal.
Maybe they're at like 21% now or something.
Neither team has a lot to brag about on their power play, but they've done well tonight.
Yep. Which is interesting because actually Mesquite's really typically pretty good on the power play or the penalty kill.
Yeah, in fact, Turlock came in killing off 68% of the penalties they'd faced, and the Outlaws 58%. Distributed by Sagu into space, and Rojo runs up on it, beating Lovegrove to the ball at halfway. Rojo switches the attack to the right side, finding Polito, marked by Jones. Varela gets it back to Rojo, who moves inside the Mesquite line, shoots with the left foot, blocked by Ellis. Varela fires. That one just missed.
Wow.
David heads it to halfway. Gutierrez bats it back to the head of David. Ahead for Lovegrove. He'll let Polito control it with 48 seconds to play.
And guess who was on the back post waiting for that ball, Brambilla? And he just didn't quite get enough of it.
He's floating around in the area again as Rojo moves in on the left side. Gutierrez with 33 seconds to play. Off of Cardenas. It caroms to David. Cardenas for the open goal. It's going to veer left.
Oh, man.
Varela chased it down for the Cal Express. Gets it to Rojo with 18 seconds to play. The Outlaws lead by 4. Rojo cut off by Tapia. Retreats with 10 seconds remaining. Rojo switching it. David knocks it down. Echeverria has it. Marked by Cardenas. 2 seconds left. That'll do it. Sean David sends it to the other end. Actually hit the superstructure after the horn sounded, ending the fourth quarter as the Mesquite Outlaws defeat the Cal Express 11-7 after blowing a 3-0 lead.
What a great showing by the Mesquite Outlaws in front of their fans on Fan Appreciation Night, giving them a show. 18 total goals. This is why I love this sport. And this franchise, you really got to hand it to this franchise. They didn't obviously quite get out to the start they wanted, going 7-14. But you know what, Pete? They really did a great job and really put on a good show tonight.
There have been some entertaining games here at the Mesquite Arena, that's for sure. Tonight included, as the Outlaws win by 4, ending a 2-game skid, improving to 7-14. They finished the year 5-7 at home. They're now 7-10 against the West. Down from those losses to Dallas and Monterey, and will play at St. Louis on March 15th. Turlock falls to 7-12, and their 3-game winning streak comes to an end. They can just about say goodbye to their playoff chances as they fall to 2-6 on the road. They are now 5-12 against the West, and will be at the Allen Event Center tomorrow to take on the Dallas Sidekicks. They now have a -17 goal differential. They had beaten Dallas, Ontario, and Orlando coming into tonight, but the 3-game win streak comes to an end as they fall 11-7. But they overcame a 3-0 deficit early. They led 5-4 at halftime. But George De Leon getting an early goal in the third period kind of changed the tone as Mesquite went on their second 4-goal run, bridging the third and fourth quarters. Powell, Lovegrove, Cardenas, and then Lovegrove against the 6th attacker, scoring on a penalty kick to cap the scoring for Mesquite. Julio Varela would score for Turlock to make it 11-7. That's how we finished tonight. So Sagu, in his first appearance since 2015, gets a win. He's now 1-0 for the Mesquite Outlaws. With Baltimore, 4 championships in his career, been goalkeeper of the year, I think 4 times. And he'll certainly remember tonight, kind of an emergency backup goalkeeper, not a la the NHL. They did bring in somebody out of this. They were able to give it the reins to Sagu tonight. And look, he was sluggish at the start. The distribution was poor, but he makes enough saves tonight to get the victory.
Yeah.
And a much-needed win for the Outlaws. Even though their fate has been sealed, they're not going to the playoffs. They still wanted to get another win here at home, and they want to finish the season on a strong note. And make no mistake about it, Tattoo has made it clear to this team that everybody is under evaluation. So people are playing for jobs right now.
Yeah.
And Sagu coming in for Pollo Cortez, not able to play due to injury. And Sagu makes 11 saves tonight in that emergency backup role for the Outlaws. Keeps his team in the game. Carvalho, playing his third straight game for Turlock, made 12 saves, but stopped only 54% of the shots he faced. Evan tonight.
And to me, the star of the game, you got to give it to the captain, Jamie Lovegrove. 3 goals, he gets the hat trick, gutting it out with a back injury, a groin injury, probably a torn groin, which just is an unimaginably painful. If you've ever played with any kind of pulled groin, let alone a torn groin, and then you got 9 different Mesquite Outlaw players with at least a point. That in and of itself is really, really impressive. Anthony Powell all the way up to Jamie Lovegrove with that hat trick we just mentioned. And the offensive side really helped out Sagu in goal as well today.
Jamie Lovegrove, the first star tonight with those 3 goals. George De Leon with 2 goals is the second star. And Luis Brambilla getting 2 goals for Turlock earns the 3rd star tonight. And Brambilla's been on a nice run for the Turlock Express. Brambilla now with 7 goals and 9 points in his last 4 games.
Yeah, Brambilla put on a camping on the back post clinic here tonight. Really unbelievable. He's wide open on the back post. And
Sagu will be our guest on the post-game show here tonight at the Mesquite Arena. Playing for the first time since 2015, a fan favorite.
Yeah, he told me I was his last media interview before his retirement. Very great, very high honor for me to be a part of that moment. I've got a picture. I shared it on Facebook if you don't believe me. But quite a man, quite a player on and off the field. Good guy. And love that he can come in here and still get wins for professional soccer.
Yep, 1-0 this year for the Mesquite Outlaws.
Perfect.
Allowing 7 goals, but his team comes up and they give him 11 goals. They gave him a 3-goal cushion, but Turlock came back and not only tied the game, but they took the lead, and they were up at intermission. But, boy, the Outlaws came out strong in the second half as they win it 11-7, and Brother Van is standing by with Sagu.
Thank you, guys. I've got Sagu here with me. Sagu, I just heard you off camera over there just a few minutes ago. Like, no more, no more. What's it like coming out of retirement and playing tonight?
It's fun, it's funny. Like, I missed this for many, many years. I retired like 5 years ago. But this is my first game. This is my last game. I don't come back anymore. Thank you, everybody. Thank my teammates. Thank Tatu, for the opportunity. Trust me, keeping me inside the field. I do my best for helping my teammates, get the win today. Thank you, Mesquite. Thank you, all the people coming here and support us today.
And how important is this? I mean, it's fan appreciation night. It's the last home game of the season. Doesn't it feel good going out with a win here at home?
It's great, especially after 5 years and don't play. This for me, I feel like this is my first game. I'm not nervous, but so excited to come here. Step inside the field and do my best for my teammates. Especially I have my 2 little kids, Sophia and Gabriel. I never play in front of there. You see me play today. For me, it's like, what are you gonna ask for? I can't ask that anymore. In my life.
Very good. One last question for any of the Mesquite Outlaw fans that are watching at home here tonight. How important? I mean, what's the feeling after this first season, the inaugural season for the Mesquite Outlaws? Anything you want to say to them and how you all feel?
I'm gonna do right away. This is the first year. I know it's difficult, for you put something together. But like Tatu, Nick Stav, and myself, is the best stuff. I think we can have. But for next season, trust us, we're gonna come back better, strong, a little bit more.
Okay, Sagu, go find a nice jacuzzi hot tub, okay?
Cool.
Okay, back up to you guys in the booth.
Sagu, great to see him play tonight, and great to see him play well and well enough to get the win, though Luis Brambilla tried to make a different result tonight. He scored 2 goals tonight, and we'll hear from him. He's been on a roll for the Turlock Express. They came in with a 3-game winning streak, but they lose tonight 11-7. Luis Brambilla standing by with Brother Van.
Okay, guys, I've got Luis from Turlock here. And Luis, the game here tonight, the Outlaws got up early with an early lead. Then you guys actually came back and went up. And it was almost like back and forth at first, and then they got kind of a commanding lead. Is it just hard when you get behind that much to come back?
No, a lot of effort for us, like sometimes we the whole game, but tough loss, but it's okay. We'll come back.
Yeah, it almost seemed like 2 games tonight.
Yeah, but tomorrow we just got to focus on tomorrow, get that win, and focus on the playoffs, try to get there.
Okay. You play the Sidekicks tomorrow. What's in store for the rest of the season for y'all?
Well, we just got to win. We're in our head right now.
Okay. Well, Luis, good luck with the rest of the season. Thank you for stopping by and interviewing here with us tonight, Luis. Good luck.
They'll be at the Allen Event Center tomorrow afternoon to take on the Dallas Sidekicks for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Tonight's final score, Mesquite 11, the Turlock Cal Express 7. Tune in Sunday, March 15th for more Mesquite Outlaws action on MASL TV as the Outlaws travel to St. Louis. Kickoff a week from tomorrow is at 3:05. For Matt Thornton, I'm Pete Stein. So long from the Mesquite Arena.